From Terwilliger Brothers Field at Max Bishop campus of the United States Naval Academy, it's the Patriot League Baseball Championships featuring the top seed, the Navy Midshipmen, and the number 2 seed, the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh. With Kevin Wilson, I'm Mike Farron, and the winner of this best-of-3 series goes to the NCAA Regionals. It's the championship of the Patriot League, Lehigh and Navy, coming up next on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Kyle Condrey, the starter for Navy in Game 3. He got the last 6 outs at Game 2, in the continuation this morning. Kevin Wilson, Mike Farron with you, and the first pitch from Condrey to Justin Pacioli is inside a ball. 1-0. We'll get you Lehigh's lineup in a moment, but this so far it has been a most entertaining series. The 1-0, there's a called strike. It's 1-1. Lehigh won Game 1 7-3. Mike Garzillo, a pair of homers and 5 RBI. In a seesaw affair, Navy won Game 2 in 11 innings. As Pacioli tries to bunt his way on, it's 1-2. And in that 11-inning game, we had a long rain, thunder, darkness delay, Kevin, and it was incredible seeing Navy get out of a first and second nobody out jam in the 10th inning, thanks in part to Condrey, who's starting in this one. 2-1, slap foul, it's 2-2. Excuse me, it remains 1-2.
Yeah, most definitely, Mike. I think that window of time between games, it's all about momentum now. Game 3, this is the way championship series should be, Mike, I feel. Game 3, everything on the line. Both teams, their pitching has been taxed, and everybody is definitely put in a lot of work in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Swinging a pop-up down the right field line. Dineen coming over in foul territory, scrambling. He will make the catch, angling into the Lehigh bullpen for out number 1. So Pacioli, the leadoff man, retired here in the ninth. Condrey did a great job coming out, as we mentioned, at the end of Game 2, pitching 2 scoreless innings. He's retired all 7 men he's faced. Now he's pitched to 2/3 of this Lehigh lineup. The part he hasn't pitched to is the part that's up now, and here's Jason Nelesnik, and these two had a little bit of an altercation, you should say, at the end of the 10th inning. Swings and misses a slider. It's 0-1. Nelesnik rounding third as Condrey was on his way off the field. Kind of bumped him a little bit, and the two exchanged some words. Right-handed hitter waits the 0-1 in the dirt. It's now 1-1. Jason Nelesnik 3 for 11 in this championship series, hitting .321 at the moment. Runs very well for a big man. He's hit second. The lineups for both of these teams have been the same for all 3 games. So it's Pacioli, Nelesnik, Garzillo, Donnelly, Elson, Walsh, Faust, McKay, Blemming for Lehigh. The 1-1. This is low, and the count now 2 balls and a strike to Nelesnik. Defense for Navy. Sean Trent, the player of the year in the Patriot League, is in left. Robert Curry in center. Connor Dineen in right. Logan Knowles at third. Travis Blue at short. Brad Borisic at second. Ben McGrath at first. Adrian Chinnery, the first team all-league catcher behind the plate for Navy, with Condrey on the mound. He's falling behind here now, 3 balls and a strike to Nelesnik.
It'll be interesting to see, Mike, how the layoff, the 30-minute delay for Condrey, either affects him in any way, shape, or form.
3-1, outside, ball 4. Well, it does seem like he's not quite as sharp as he was for those last 6 hitters that he faced. He came out throwing a ton of strikes, and there, obviously, he walks Nelesnik, who runs fairly well.
Yeah, it's a game of momentum, and Lehigh's trying to get that momentum back. Again, we talked about Game 3. You know, Lehigh had it, then Navy got it at the end of Game 2 to secure Game 2, and now here we are, Game 3, Lehigh trying to get it back.
And here's the red-hot Mike Garzillo. The story has been Garzillo so far in this tournament. 6 for 10, 3 homers, 6 RBI, a grand slam. All 3 home runs have been bombs, including one that cleared our center field camera by a good 50 feet yesterday to straightaway center. It's 405 to dead center field here. I guess with a bounce, it was probably 50 feet, but he's had a couple of 430-foot shots.
Yeah, he's making this ballpark look small, Mike.
First pitch, way out in front on a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
That's a tight slider. That's one of those that at the last minute it disappears on you. You're just so committed that it's a different type of pitch, more so a fastball with him, and that just the bottom drops out of it.
It's a little bit of a breeze now, but for the most part, there has not been any wind today. It is extremely muggy. Swing and a miss. Garzillo behind, 0-2.
As my good friend Charlie Manuel would say, this is good hitting weather.
It is. Well, you'd like a little bit of a breeze blowing out, I think, if you're a hitter, right? I mean, you want as much help as you can get.
No doubt. We had that yesterday for sure.
You also, one of the things that with Condrey is you wonder how long he can go in this game. The 0-2, just off the plate, it's 1-2.
He's around the plate. It's not like he's wild. I mean, he's hitting his spots, and he's just not getting the calls right now.
He's going to have to be efficient, though, because the question's going to be asked an awful lot. How much can he pitch? How much can Condrey go? After going 2 innings in that first game, can he give them 5? Can he give them 6? You don't expect a complete game out of him, certainly, unless the pitch count is very, very low. And right now, you know, he's running it up a little bit, but it's not unmanageable to this point through 3 hitters or 2.5 hitters.
Let's see if he throws this slider on the outside through a fastball on the outside corner 0-2. Let's see if he tries to present the same type of pitch to Garzilla, but it's a slider at the end on the same spot.
1-2. That's a fastball called strike 3, snap throw, and Nelesnik is back safely. 2 outs.
He doubled up there with a fastball, same spot. Got the call this time. That takes a lot of guts right there. And again, he's continuing to pound the zone. He's not getting frustrated so far. He's continuing to go at it, and that time he got the call. Here's
Patrick Donnelly. Donnelly, a strikeout victim in the 10th inning against Condrey in Game 2. We have no score in the top of the first. He has a home run in this series. 3 for 9 overall. Breaking ball misses low. It's 1-0, and that's the same way he started Donnelly before. Now that was a little bit more of a downer breaking ball than the big sweeping one that Donnelly swung at the first time.
Donnelly a little more patient this time around, maybe learning from his last at-bat.
1-0 with the foul, and the count 1-1.
And that's the thing as hitters, you just have to put, a lot of good hitters will keep a little log, Mike, almost like a little notebook on what they got in certain counts and certain pitches from certain pitchers. And so when they go and face them again, whether it's the next day, 30 minutes from now, or a month from now, they can go back and kind of see the sequence.
The 1-1 from Condrey, tapped to second. Borisek on the second half will flip to short, and the inning is over. Lehigh gets a 1-out walk, but they strand a man. Lehigh nothing. Navy coming to bat in the first inning of the decisive game of the Patriot League Baseball Championships on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Robert Curry stands in to lead things off for Navy against Nick Macaione, the starter for Lehigh. The senior left-hander's first pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Macaione this season making his 10th start, 2-4 record, a 3 ERA, 39 strikeouts and 57 innings coming into today, and he's fallen behind 2-0. Macaione not a particularly hard thrower. There's a strike there, it's 2-1. About 85, 86, big slow breaking ball. He'll change up, he'll cut it, keeps hitters off balance. A little bit, he pitched out of the bullpen in Game 2 of the series against Holy Cross. He gets Curry to foul that one off to the right and out of play. It's 2-2.
I think one of the most important things here, Mike, is it's a different look. Left-hander, he hides the ball well behind him. He's got that slow, as you mentioned, breaking ball. It's almost like right-handers, if he throws it outside, you'll give up on it as it comes back across the outside corner.
2-2 off speed, dumped into left. Blemming froze for a second, comes in and makes the catch. Leadoff man gone here in the first.
There's a different sense of emotion here, and it's almost like everybody doesn't want to kind of cheer too loud or say something because they just want to get the game going, it seems like to me, Mike.
Yeah, it is a little bit different feel. I mean, there was so much energy for those last couple of innings, and we'd seen the energy kind of change throughout. Borisek lays down a bunt towards second. Garzilla will charge, glove flip to first, not in time, infield single. Brad Borisek. And so now the speedy second baseman is on for Navy.
Textbook drop down drag bunt there. He got a pitch. He made sure he put it down as he was going. As a left-hander, you do not want to try to go to first base and leave your bat out there. You want to be directional. Step towards the pitcher first so you can still cover the plate, create your angle like Borisek did there, and get it to the cut where the grass and the dirt meet. He did exactly that.
Here's Sean Trent, the Patriot League Player of the Year. No score, last of the first, 1 out. Decisive game of the baseball championships. Macaione's first pitch in the dirt. It gets away from McKay, and Borisek's going to have second easily. A wild pitch. And now Navy has a potential go-ahead run in scoring position. And we talk about momentum an awful lot. It's a little bit different when you're playing 2 games in 1 day, and especially when you have as emotional a victory as Navy did, coming from behind a couple of times to win the continuation of Game 2, as you saw McKay trying to knock that one down.
Yeah, he's had some trouble back there. He's working hard, but he's had some tough balls behind the dish there.
Now you've got Trent, who singled and scored the winning run in game 2. Hits it on the ground to third. Backhanded stop there by Donnelly. Strong throw to get him. 2 outs.
There's that first step quickness we talked about yesterday with Donnelly to his right this time, backhanding the ball, trying to create some range, be soft with that glove instead of stabbing at it. He was already in position with his feet to throw a strike to first base while having that backhand
Here's
play.
Stephen Bourne, the designated hitter. The freshman is 2 for 8 in this series with a triple and getting the start against the lefty. Thought we might see the right-handed hitting Leland Sale, but instead Bourne will stay in the cleanup spot. He takes a breaking ball strike. It's 0-1.
It's not a first pitch you want to be swinging at, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, Mike. That's a good pitcher's pitch right there. We'll take that and take our chances with 0-1.
See Bourne's numbers, hitting 400, uses of the opposite field extremely well. Check of the runner at second as Macaione taking lots of time, and there's a big breaking ball, misses up and in. It's 1-1.
I noticed something here, Mike. It's interesting. He sets up on the third base side of the rubber, especially to a lefty. He's, even though he comes from behind and throws slightly across his body, it's interesting what type of, what side of the rubber he uses.
The 1-1, swing and a miss. Challenged him that time, and Bourne behind 1-2. Well, it creates, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but it creates different angles, right? So as a lefty, maybe you're more cognizant of being set up on that side for a right-handed hitter to try and hide the ball from him than you are for a lefty, because you feel like your breaking ball probably has a chance to get them out. The 1-2, swing and a tapper foul as Bourne was just trying to protect there.
It was interesting. That was a slide step. There's nobody on first base. Obviously, we have a runner at second, but sometimes a pitcher will slide step just to speed up that hitter anyway. Some guys do that and throw a fastball right down the middle and try to get guys out in front.
1-2 the count, no score, but Navy with a runner at second here in the first. Macaiane's pitch, breaking ball, bounced to first. Faust has it, kick the cushion, and the inning is over. A 1-out single goes for naught. We've played one in the decisive game of the Patriot League Championship. Scoreless, it's Lehigh and Navy on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Top of the second inning, Lehigh and Navy scoreless. Kevin Wilson, Mike Farron at Terwilliger Brothers Field at Max Bishop Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland on this muggy Sunday. Kyle Condrey starting for Navy. You see his numbers as the first pitch is a strike there to John Elson. Condrey got the last 6 outs of game 2 and a continuation of the game today. An interesting strategic move by Paul Kostakopoulos. Gets Elson to pop up into shallow center. The shortstop Blue is drifting under it and will make the grab just as the wind picks up for out number 1.
I still get that sense, Mike, that everybody's on edge a little bit here. It's no one's on base too much, and obviously we have no score in the game, but both teams are starting to feel each other out here. Again, it's a game 3. It's every little thing is scrutinized.
With 1 out, here's Patrick Walsh, the designated hitter, 2 for 8 in the championship series, has a couple of home runs in the playoffs. Big right-handed hitter takes a strike. It's 0-1. Condrey threw 15 pitches in getting those 6 outs, and Herring at first and second, nobody out jamming the 10th inning. He's thrown 20 so far, so you wonder what the distance is going to be for him as it's taken inside. He pitched out of the bullpen in the series against Lafayette, went 3 1/3 innings. When Navy's ace, Luke Gillingham, had to leave after 3 1/3 because of an injury. So this is his first start of the playoffs. He's ahead 1-2 after 2 relief appearances.
Yeah, at the end of game 2 when he came in, those were stressful pitches too. They weren't easy, and he did his job.
He was very efficient. 15 pitches, 15 strikes. Then the 1-2 called strike 3. Walsh is his second strikeout victim, looking at a fastball. It's 2 up, 2 down here in the second for Lehigh.
Excuse me, Mike. The thing I see so far with Lehigh, they're not as aggressive as they have been in the past in the first 2 games. I don't know if it's just the first couple hitters, but they're used to swinging the bat early and often. We're not seeing it too much.
Here's the first pitch to counter Faust. He takes a breaking ball strike. It's 0-1. Faust 0 for 8 with a walk.
He's starting a lot of these Lehigh batters off with off-speed, that breaking ball, especially on the inside.
0-1. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Had a good rip that time. It's 0-2. Well, you wonder if part of it could be a strategy, especially the first time through the order. Now, these guys from the 4 spot on down, so from Donnelly, who finished the first, now Elson Walsh, not Walsh, because he had been pinch run for earlier in the game to Faust. These guys saw Condrey in the first game. Maybe it's an effort as much as anything to run a pitch count up because you know he's not going to be able to go the distance. Tapper to short. Gobbled up by Blue. He will fire across in time to get the Lehigh first baseman. 1, 2, 3 second. Very efficient for Kyle Convery. We've played 1.5. Lehigh and Navy. Winner goes to the NCAAs on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. For the latest news and stories on the Patriot League, follow the Patriot League on Twitter at Patriot League. And follow along here as we are on CampusInsiders.com with the Patriot League Network today, the championship game of the Patriot League Baseball Tournament. We've gone the distance, 3-game sets in all of the semifinals. We've now gone the distance here in the finals as Connor Deneen fouls the first pitch up off from Nick Macaione. It's 0-1. It'll be Deneen, Chinnery, and McGrath. 5, 6, and 7 in the Navy order against the senior left-hander for Lehigh. 0-1, big breaking ball strike. 0-2.
That big breaking ball is almost a let-up pitch for a hitter. You just see it, you don't think it's going to come back in the zone, and all of a sudden, strike.
0-2, hit on the ground to the right side. Garzillo way to his left, gloves, spins, got him. Nice play. He had to cover a lot of ground to get to that ball. And the leadoff man retired here in the second.
That's a tough enough play for any second baseman going to his left and ranging back. It's not going straight left. You have to almost go diagonally back behind you to get that. He made it even more difficult making that spin throw and throwing a strike to first.
One out for Adrian Chinnery, the all-league catcher for Navy. 3 for 10 in the first 2 games of this championship. Drove in a couple of runs in game 2. Pitching the dirt to the screen there. You see Chinnery's numbers on the year coming into today. 1-0. Up high, and the count now 2-0. Chinnery, an athletic catcher, does not run particularly well, but does everything very well athletically behind the plate. He's ahead of the count now 3-0.
It'll be interesting to see how he faces right-handed hitters versus left-handed hitters.
3-0, meaning Macaione?
Yeah, Macaione. Depending on, some left-handed pitchers would rather face left-handed guys than right-handed, or face an all right-handed lineup or an all left-handed lineup.
3-1, tapped foul, and the count now 3-2. Well, in this case, he's going to get a pretty good balance. Borisak, who we already saw singled, Bourne, we got to ground out, Deneen, left-handed hitters, Knowles, a left-handed hitter. McGrath, who's in the on-deck circle, a switch hitter. We'll get to see him from the right side for the first time. And the 3-2 on its way. Ball 4. Like he tried to take something off that a little bit and missed his spot, so it's a 1-out walk for Chinnery.
I remember listening to Tom Glavine one time. He was saying he loved when teams would stack right-handed only hitters against him because he didn't have to change his arm slot or his release point. He could just basically go arm side run on that outside corner all night long, and he actually appreciated that.
Well, he had such a great changeup that made it easy in that regard. I remember some guys, switch hitters, hitting lefty against him. Hot smash to second, Garzillo to second for 1. The relay not in time as it gets away from Faust, and a great job by Tim McKay to back up that play and stop it from going into the dugout. He just saved a base.
Absolutely. That's what I thought. There was 2 outs already in the inning. Lehigh forgot
that was
the outs.
1 out. That was 1 out. I think they're going to call
the
McGrath on that. That should have been the second out. They're calling interference. Interference on the runner at second, trying to turn the double play. Paul Kosakopoulos out to talk to Tim Delweiler, the second base umpire. Lehigh is slowly trailing off the field, and as of now, McGrath has rounded the bases and touched home. Kosakopoulos didn't like the answer, but that's what it is. It's a double play, and the inning is over. We've played 1.5. Lehigh and Navy scoreless in the championship of the Patriot League here on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Top of the third, Lehigh and Navy. Let's take a look at what happened on that double play to end the second inning. Here comes the runner, Chinnery, going into second. And you can see he does not go straight into the base there at second. That's a really questionable call, I think. His hand, he got his whole arm over second base. And you got to give the runner a little bit of leeway to try and break up a double play. I know you're protecting from injury and that the college rule reads a little different than the professional rule, but he was well within, his body was almost near second base.
I think it was more of a late slide, Mike, than anything else.
First pitch fouled off by Tim McKay.
But I agree with you. It's a questionable call, but it's game 3. Anything can happen.
And that's why you want to stay out of these decisive games as you can, because weird things tend to decide them. McKay hits that one on the line on one hop to Blue, who waits back on it and will throw him out. The leadoff man gone here in the third. I'd like to apologize. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but we are back and ready to go. You have not missed much. There's been just 3 base runners in this game. Lehigh still looking for its first hit against Kyle Condry on the mound for Navy. He got the win in game 2 in the continuation this morning after rain yesterday. James Blemming, hot smash. Backhanded by Blue. Long, strong throw, 2 outs.
That's knowing your runner. That's even though that ball was hit hard to Blue at short, he did a great job of backhanding that ball, giving him some leeway back to corral that and make a strong throw to first base. There's a lot of infielders and a lot of coaches that will hit a ball to you at shortstop. You have less than 4 seconds to get that runner out at first. It's something that you practice, and you want to practice the speed of the game that you play.
2 outs, nobody on for Pacioli in this scoreless game. He's just 1 for 10 in the championship series. Pacioli comes into today with the nation's longest on-base streak, 61 consecutive games. Takes inside, it's 2-0.
Pacioli almost did not get out of the way on that. He tried to lean in, and then at the last second, he moved back just a tick.
We touched on that yesterday. A new rule in college baseball this year that you have to make an effort to get out of the way. 2-0, there's a strike on the inside corner, it's 2-1.
I think as a hitter, I would be more mad at that call because of how the catcher took the ball out of the zone, not so much where the ball came over. 2
balls and a strike to Pacioli, the pitch. Swing and a tapper towards third, cutting it off as Knowles. They'll call foul ball. Looks like it hit his front foot. The home plate umpire, Tim Lombardo, all over that right away. Tim Lombardo behind the plate in this one. Ricky Cacciatore at first. Tim Detweiler at second. Keith Seghetti is the umpire at third. Shinnery will go out and have a quick word, try and decide what they want to do against the senior center fielder, Pacioli. Scoreless game, top of the third. Winner to the tournament. Navy hasn't been since 2011. Lehigh's only made 1 appearance ever in 2006. Pacioli smashed, knocked down by Knowles, gets to his feet, throws, not in time. Infield single, Justin Pacioli. First hit of the game for Navy, and for him, 62 consecutive games where he has reached base safely.
Well, they call it the hot corner for a reason, Mike. That ball was smashed down to Knowles at third base. He did a great job just diving to his right, knocking the ball down. The ball actually landed right next to him, so he had the opportunity to pick it up with his bare hand, which is the right thing to do, and throw a good strike to first base. A lot of infielders will rush that, throw it into the stands or over that brick wall over there, and the guy could potentially be on second base, but he made the throw. Accurate throw will live with the guy at first base.
You know, we talked a lot about Lehigh's power at the outset yesterday. One of the things that we also touched on was that they can run. They have not run a whole lot in this series so far. And so far, Condry's been very concerned with Pacioli as he tried a quick throw over there. Navy's done that a couple of times, get the ball back and then throw it right back over. But Pacioli stole 28 bases during the regular season and 34 attempts. He's back safely. I should say throughout to this point in the season, he had 3 stolen bases in the semis against Holy Cross. Lesnick stands in. He walked his first time.
I'm sorry, Mike. I still feel like the best thing for a pitcher to do.
Pitch out, runner going, throw down to second, not in time, stolen base. Stolen base number 29 on the year for Pacioli.
Is to hold the baseball. If a base runner leads off of first base, the best thing I think is to hold the baseball to get him tense, but he came set and delivered the pitch right away. Pacioli got a good jump there. Head first slide into second base. It's interesting the way you have to slide on this AstroTurf here compared to a dirt field as well. You got to start your slide a little earlier or else you slide right by.
So now Lesnick with an RBI opportunity as he takes inside. It's 2-0. Condry in the stretch for a rare opportunity here. It's only had a couple of hitters in there so far. You mentioned the turf. This was one of the first turf fields with this new the field turf that they call it, at least on the college level. The only areas that are dirt are the home plate area and the mound. Everything else on this field, even the brown that you see on the base paths, is field turf. The outfield is field turf, and it was, I think, the 3rd in the country to have that particular setup. Now you see a lot of teams that have the field turf at home plate even. It makes it much easier for northern schools to get out on the field and play. The college season starts in February. This went down and in on the count now 3-0 to Lesnick. And the last thing you want to do is put Nelesnik on with Mike Garzillo on deck, who's only hit 3 home runs in this championship series and 5 over his last 5 games.
The one thing, you get into this Game 3 scenario, Mike, and you see a lot of, you got the Chinnery, the catcher, coming out to talk to him, and you had the second baseman coming in to talk to him as well. Sometimes pitchers don't want anybody to come talk to them. You want to treat this the same as Game 1 and Game 2. Sometimes you can overdo it. You get your pitcher out of his rhythm. You sometimes want to let him be and let him do his own thing.
Well, that was Brad Borisic, the senior, that went in there to have a quick conversation, the second baseman, with Condrey. And Condrey wanting a new set of signs again from Chinnery. 3-0 the count to Nelesnik. No score, top 3, the pitch. Called strike, it's 3-1. Condrey is a sophomore. So you got the more veteran senior player in Borisic coming out to make sure that he's attacking the hitter here. Garzillo, a dangerous hitter, waiting on deck. The 3-1 on its way. Ball 4 inside. First and second, 2 outs, and here comes Mike Garzillo. Garzillo, 6 hits in 11 trips in this championship series. 3 home runs, all of them no-doubters. 6 RBI, and Bobby Applegate, the pitching coach, is going to come out to talk to Condrey, and Condrey seems a bit defiant on the mound. He does not seem happy about something.
It could be because people are talking to him. It could be something else. You have to wonder, sitting from here and observing the game from this part, exactly what's going through his head. But I don't see the same confidence and conviction in throwing pitches that we saw at the end of Game 2 and the beginning of this Game 3.
Yeah, you have to wonder if he felt like something in pitch selection. He's having a quick conversation with Applegate there. But to get back to the point with Garzillo, I mean, this is a guy who's been on fire. I think he said 5 homers in his last 5 games. It's actually 5 homers in his last 3 games coming into the game. Here's the one yet in Game 2, the home run to center field. This one tied the game at 8 in the 8th inning. Garzillo, who is a very kind of, I don't want to say emotionless, but he doesn't show a whole lot of excitement as a player. As you see that one bounce into the woods in center field, actually pumped his fist as he was heading to first base. He knew he got that one.
It's a great feeling as a hitter right off the bat, knowing that you got it, and why wouldn't you be pumped about that situation?
Condrey already at 55 pitches in this game, all day, excuse me, and that's the first pitch, a strike there on a breaking ball to Garzillo. 1-0, excuse me, that one missed in.
He's missing with that breaking ball now. Before, he was throwing that for a strike.
Long look, and the 1-0, there's a fastball strike. It's 1-1.
He's getting more strikes called and throwing better strikes, I should say, on the outside corner. When he gets across his body a little bit more and extends out, he's leaving that breaking ball, that first pitch breaking ball, just a little bit there. He's not getting that call inside, which is a big difference, 1-0 to 0-1.
Condrey taking a lot of time now to get ready. Again, just over 55 pitches now combined between the 2 innings he threw in Game 1 and now working here in the third of the scoreless game. The 1-1 to Garzillo, swing and a miss. He's had him out front on that breaking ball when he's really finished it. 3 times so far, it's 1-2. Now you have to go back to it, don't you?
Yeah, it's a 1-1 breaking ball. It's still an aggressive count, 1-1 for a hitter, taking advantage of that aggressiveness, and he put it in a great place too, because with that depth at that knee-high level, you're going to swing over top of it.
The 1-2 on its way, swing and a miss. He challenged him with a fastball, and Garzillo down on strikes for the second time in this game. Lehigh threatens, but they leave a pair. We head to the bottom of the third. Lehigh nothing, Navy nothing on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third, and just a couple of moments ago, there's the second base umpire, Tim Detweiler. Paul Kostakopoulos, the head coach at Navy, out to talk to him again between innings, adamant about a call. Pitch misses high to Logan Knowles, the leadoff hitter here in the third. The second inning ended on a double play when runner interference was called at second base, and Kostakopoulos was furious. Bounced to second. Garzillo has it. He'll throw out the leadoff man here in the third. Now, we've been talking about this, and we've been talking about it with our crew here too, Kevin. The college rule when trying to break up a double play at second base is different than the pro rule. There is not as much leeway that's given to the base runner. However, you have to slide right at the base. But in my estimation, even though his feet didn't go right at the base, the runner was going right at the base. And you can see the replay again. Paul Kostakopoulos very upset as Chinnery was just basically sliding by the bag. You know, his knee came very close to the base there, and we've seen Kostakopoulos get upset at a couple of calls. There was the hit by pitch yesterday that caused a run to score for Lehigh in a 3-run inning for them, as this one grounded to second. Garzillo's been busy, and there's 2 outs here in the third. But in the semifinals against Lafayette, there was a ball that was called a home run that was hit off the top of the left field fence right in front of the scoreboard. Now, the scoreboard is about 30 feet beyond it. And he said that the umpires told him that the ball bounced back into play, which was impossible for it to happen. So he's gotten very upset at calls that I think it's certainly he's been more right than wrong on.
Yeah, absolutely. Good case for him to argue about. But as a former middle infielder, I think that slide was clean. If you're not putting me on my knees and on the ground, and you're not clipping me or throwing me upside down in the college game, then to me, I feel that's not interference. I mean, he went in a little late, but he did, as you said, he hugged the bag, he was right next to it, and there was no contact.
Curry to third. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Macaione. Boy, was he good in that frame. We've played 3. Lehigh and Navy scoreless. The winner goes to the NCAA Regionals. You're watching the Patriot League Baseball Championships on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insight. Scoreless as we start the top of the 4th. The weather is a little dicey today, so it may be that Lehigh seniors are graduating from a hotel outside of BWI tonight as the first pitch to Patrick Donnelly misses high.
That's a quick turnaround, Mike, for sure.
It'll be the heart of the Lehigh order here in the 4th, and the leadoff single for Patrick Donnelly through the left side. Donnelly stays hot. 4th hit of this championship series, and now in his postseason career at Lehigh, 16 for 40 in the playoffs.
You might as well just start him in the playoffs. Forget the regular season. Get somebody else some playing time. And that's when the good players step up, is definitely in the postseason.
He was the first team all-league third baseman, and now here's John Elson. Now, Elson is 5 for 12 with a couple of extra base hits. Be interesting to see whether or not they ask him to bunt here. We're in a scoreless game in the 4th. Elson not bunting, takes a breaking ball in. It's 1-0.
He just cannot command that breaking ball to start off. If you notice, he's throwing first pitch breaking balls inside, and he keeps getting after it because he wants to get it over, but he's missing. He's consistently behind 1-0 on these Lehigh hitters.
Elson has some pop, 5 homers on the year as he takes a strike there. It's 1-1. In fact, the top 6 guys in this Lehigh order all have 5 or more, 4 of them have 5 or more homers, and the top 2 guys, Pacioli and Nelesnik. And Pacioli has a dozen extra base hits. Lesnick had a dozen doubles, and he looks like the kind of guy that's going to hit home runs as he gets a little bit older.
Sometimes when you throw to first base, Mike, you're setting up that breaking ball. Not so much setting it up, but you want to keep that runner at bay, keep him there, keep him honest, because if you're throwing another off-speed pitch, you want to give your catcher enough time to throw that ball to second.
Donnelly on the season, 8 for 13 in stolen base attempts. So he does run a little bit. Still scoreless here in the top of the 2nd. Not going. Bunting is Elson. It's a good one. Off the mound is Connery. Fires a strike to first to get Elson. Now Sacrifice has a go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 4th.
For those watching at home, if you guys can see from the center field cam into the catcher, notice that there was a runner on first base, but he gave 2 signs. And sometimes when you do that as a catcher, you want to keep away from the guy leading off first base, peeking in for that sign to see what pitch it is. Not so much relaying to the hitter as maybe he's picking what pitch he wants to run on.
Patrick Walsh, a strikeout victim his first time, caught looking. No score, top 4. Walsh drives it deep, left center field, over is Trent. He makes the catch, tagging and hustling to third is Donnelly, but that's a big second out. Walsh hit it hard.
Well, again, the pattern, first pitch breaking ball. You start to sit on that at Lehigh. Now we're second time around. You start to sit on some of those patterns. And you know what? If you want to sit soft and he throws you a first pitch fastball down the middle, you just take it. You're trying to find patterns, and that's, I think, what Walsh did there. He just missed that one. But you know what? Productive out. They got a runner over to third base with 2 outs.
Chinnery has been very active behind the plate, blocking pitches in the dirt, so there's going to be some pressure on him with 2 outs and counter Faust up. Faust is hitless in the championship series. 0 for 9 now. Batting average down around 200 on the year. First baseman, right-handed hitter, waits, and the first pitch from Condrey. Fouled back to the screen. You know, he has had a couple of good cuts against the right-hander here.
Lehigh knows they're starting to sit on that first pitch breaking ball. It'll be interesting if Condrey gets off of that here in the next batter or two and sees as they're picking up his pattern.
Long look from Condrey, is even working from the windup, and now he steps off. Now, he's done that a couple of times, and you wondered if it was the freeze base runners. It seems like he's just having trouble getting on the same page with most likely the Navy coaching staff calling pitches. Go off speed here, 0-1. There it is. This is 1-1. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, it was a good pitch there. Didn't get the call, but this is turning in, Mike, I think, to the pace of play of a Yankees-Red Sox game here in Game 3. Everybody taking their time, and, it is. It's important. Winner goes to the NCAAs.
Condrey winds and delivers. 1-1 hit high in the air, deep down the left field line, hooking in the corner. It is a foul ball. Foul ball. Sean Leary is asking the home plate umpire, Tim Lombardo, for help. Says, did you see it? And Leary is hot. That ball hooked in the corner. From our vantage point, it was very close, difficult to see. It was over the foul pole, but it appears that they got the call right.
That's tough here at Navy's field. The foul poles do not go up high enough. And we're going to take another look at this, Mike, and see if we can get a good vantage point. This is a tough angle, but you notice how short the foul poles are. From this angle, it looks fair, but from our angle in the booth, I thought it went foul. But if you had that pole a little bit higher, it would make it easier to make the call. But the umpires are now getting together.
Yeah, all four umpires are going to get together between the mound and third base. Sean Leary at least asked them to talk. From that angle, you're right, it looked like it was a fair ball, but that angle coming from the first base side may not have been the clearest.
Yeah, our booth is set up almost on that direct line, not directly on the third base line, but from my vantage point, I've got a better seat than even you, Mike, and that seemed to be hooking foul. But again, I think the right call with Coach Leary, get the guys together. You never know what they're going to get.
And they're going to say it is a foul ball, and Faust doubled over at home plate. Can't believe it. Sean Leary is hot.
The game of inches, Mike, and this is just another example. And tensions are running high here in Game 3, and rightly so. And every pitch and every call like this, close call, could obviously make the difference in the ball game.
You can see Travis Blue, the shortstop, pointing foul territory there.
Sean Trent very adamant as well. Of course you're going to sell that at Navy.
So it's 1-2, 2 outs, still a man at third. Faust just misses what would have been his second home run of the season. Now the Navy bench getting excited.
A type of play like that's getting everybody excited in the crowd.
The 1-2, line foul off to the right.
Now's that energy starting to come around. Things are starting to happen, Mike, and early in the ball game we noted that it was kind of surreal here. Now the energy's starting to pick up.
No score. We saw that a little bit early in the game, too, yesterday, although Lehigh getting out to an early lead really took the Navy crowd out of it. 1-2, outside, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. These teams have played very even throughout the season. They met 4 times in the regular year. They split the 4 meetings. Navy did have a 21-1 victory in one of those games, but they are 3-3 against each other. The 2-2 on its way. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said the home plate umpire, Ricky Cacciatore. Connor Faust has a couple of things to say to the home plate umpire, and he fires his bat into the ground on his way into the dugout. He is furious. We've played 3.5. Lehigh leaves the go-ahead run at third. We are scoreless on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Scoreless going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Heart of the Navy order to face Nick Macaione here. And watch this at the end of the inning. Connor Faust called out on a check swing. Very upset, and neither umpire, it looked like, saw him fire his bat into the ground. But I'll tell you what, this umpiring crew has given both coaches, as the first pitch is a strike to Borisek, a lot of leeway. It's given the players some leeway. This is intense. This is the only way either of these teams is getting to the NCAA tournament is by winning today. 0-1, Borisek tries to check his swing. Did he go? No swing, says the third base umpire, Keith Seghetti.
And that's the thing with the umpire. If you have a good umpiring crew, they understand the situation. You understand that emotions will run high, and you do, to your point, have to give them a little leeway because of the magnitude of this game. The good umpiring crews yesterday, Navy's coach got a long line from the home plate umpire as well.
1-1, Borisek taps it foul off his foot. See, crumble down there, it's 1-2.
Those are no fun at all. Those are no fun at all, and hopefully he'll be okay. But when you anywhere down in the ankle foot area, there's not much protection and there's not much skin there to help you out. That's mostly a ball on bone type of incident there.
Of course, they're going to try and walk it off as Paul Kostakopoulos, the head coach at Navy, comes out to check on him.
Let's take another look at this, Mike, and see where exactly it caught him. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Just below the knee, looks like on the shin. I've been hit there plenty of times. And that's, you almost have no feeling in the rest of your leg, and you got that throbbing knee, and it almost feels like every time you run or try to put weight on it, it'll give out. So that's a tough spot to get hit.
Run it out just a little bit there to try and get the knot out. He will stay in the game. Legs are a big part of Borisic's game. He had a base hit his first trip. It's the lone hit so far for Navy in this game.
Borisic, he's not coming out of game 3.
Nope, not the senior. Not in what could be his final game. He wants to extend his career. The 1-2 on its way. Breaking ball upstairs, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's an interesting pitch selection. If I was the pitcher, I'd be running that ball right back inside. And as a hitter, you just don't want that ball anywhere near you again.
2-2, swing and a pop-up. Shallow center coming on Patriot. Now it's the left fielder Bleming that's calling him off, and he will make the catch. Leadoff man retired here in the 4th.
That's a long 90 feet to jog right there for Borisic, but hopefully he'll be okay and be able to, over time, shake that off.
1 out for Sean Trent. Trent, the player of the year in the Patriot League, now hitting .412. Came into yesterday's action hitting .419. He is 3 for 11 with a double. He scored the winning run in game 2 on a wild pitch, scoring all the way from second base. And let's talk a little bit about Trent, because he was a top 100 recruit out of high school. He is a very good hitter. Takes a strike there.
Starting to heat up as of late, starting to hit the ball hard. It seems like his swing is grooved for right over the second baseman's head into that right center field gap. He's hit a couple balls hard last couple games there.
1-1 on the ground to second. Garzillo backing up on it. Gloves and throws the first. 2 up, 2 down here in the 3rd.
He got crowded there, Mike. That ball came inside on him. He couldn't do much with it, and that's why he had that weak contact to second base.
Here's Bourne, who grounded out to first his lone trip so far today. We are scoreless in the bottom of the 4th in the championship game. This is taking on a little bit different feel than the first 2, in that was about offense, and Bourne gets hit. So a 2-out base runner, the first pitch hit him right on the front hip.
Again, we talked about it earlier, Mike, the left-right matchup, left-right. You can't really get into a groove. We mentioned Tom Glavine before in his story, and that, you know, it's tough to find that release point of where you want to go, and Bourne getting on base any way he can here with 2 outs.
So 2 outs, a man on for Connor Deneen. He had a 3-hit game in game 2, grounded to second his first trip. First pitch, hit on the ground right side, off the glove of Faust. Gloving is Garzillo, but nobody there to cover. Faust gets back, not in time. Macaione didn't get off the mound to cover at first after Faust leapt for it, and so Garzillo made a heck of a play to get to that ball, but there was no one there to throw to. It's an infield hit.
As a player, you cannot assume anything on the baseball field. Macaione, I think, did that. He assumed that Faust was going to get that ball. Let's take it again. Get that AstroTurf hop over his head. Macaione should have been there. Faust did a good job actually getting back and making it a close play at first.
Yeah, that was a very good play by Faust. Nearly to grab that and then have the presence of mind to get back to the mound. He didn't even assume that Macaione was coming. He hustled to get back on his own. Smart play, and they nearly did get him at first. 2 outs, 2 on. Navy with their first real threat since the first. They had a man at second with 1 out in that inning and couldn't score. And now Faust and the head coach for Lehigh, Sean Leary, are going to go out to the mound to talk to Mackey.
Yeah, again, everything is being broken down, and everybody's paying attention to detail here. The reason we see, sorry, Mike, the reason we see more mound visits from coaches or players or anything like that, it'll be interesting to see. We can't see the bullpen from our vantage point, see if Lehigh's anybody up and throwing at this moment.
It was a quick conversation, and I have to think that it probably had more to do with defense, what they wanted to do with 2 runners on. So Bourne is at second, Deneen is at first. 2 outs for Chinnery. Chinnery walked in the second and was erased on that controversial double play.
I feel like the college game, too, is micromanaged more, I say, than the pro game. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just you're dealing with 18 to 21-year-olds.
First pitch to Chinnery in the dirt. Good stop by McKay. It's 1-0. We mentioned that double play. In the second inning, it was a grounder to second, and Chinnery was erased at second and then called for interference, altering John Elson's throw. We got to look through our statistician, David Freeman, at the rule, and by the letter of the law, it did appear that the call was correct, although I still don't agree with it. 1-0, hit in the air, deep to left. Fleming going back, it's over his head, and one hop against the fence. 2 runs are going to score. Adrian Chinnery has given Navy a 2-0 lead. Ball gets away. Elson's throw to third, not in time.
He put a charge into that, Mike, driving it out to deep left center field. The ball carried no wind to help him today. That was all Chinnery, and he drove that pitch, that elevated ball out there. Heads up base running to continue on to go to third base on the bobble. Fundamental baseball Lehigh has to play. They coughed it up a little bit there, allowing Chinnery to move ahead to third base.
2 outs and a man at third now, 2-0 Navy. Adrian Chinnery with a huge 2-run double to give the midshipmen the lead. That one misses high to McGrath. It's 1-0. The error on that play is on John Elson, who dropped the relay throw. That allowed Chinnery to go to third. Pitch hit on the ground to short. There's Elson, gets the high hop, throws. The first inning is over, but Navy gets on the board. A 2-run double from Adrian Chinnery. They lead 2-0 as we've played 4 in the decisive game of the Patriot League Baseball Championships on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Fans can purchase Patriot League merchandise and championship apparel on the new Patriot League store. In addition, every Patriot League school's merchandise is also available at patriotleaguestore.com. To the 5th, Navy leading Lehigh 2-0, 8-9-1 to hit for the Mountain Hawks here. Adrian Chinnery's 2-run double in the 4th, the difference so far. Tim McKay is 0 for 1. He bounced to short his first time. Pitch, and he gets hit right on the front elbow. McKay reaches to lead off the 5th.
He elected to go with a fastball instead of a first pitch breaking ball there. He's changed up his sequence, and unfortunately, for Condrey, he hits McKay, but good for Lehigh. That's a quick base runner on first, and McKay is holding that elbow, and as a trainer is coming out to attend to him.
We're going to take a quick look to see that one really smoked him.
That's not a good place to get hit. I mean, getting hit is never good, but on that elbow, that's a tender spot for sure, Mike.
Bobby Applegate out to the mound to talk to Kyle Condrey. Condrey is now at 97 pitches. He had 15 in the continuation of game 2 today. He got 6 outs, and that's where you wonder how much longer he can go.
He's done a great job without his best stuff too, Mike. He's battled, he's competed, he's kept his team in the ball game, and now looks like that'll be the end of his day.
And that's going to be it for him. The new pitcher for Navy we'll tell you about in just a moment. 2-0 leadoff man on here for Lehigh, top of the 5th on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Kyle Condrey gives Navy 4+ innings after getting the win, pitching the final 2 frames in game 2 and the continuation of that game today. And Andrew Bartek inherits a man at first, nobody out situation here. You see the numbers on Bartek. The walks stand out in 27 1/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, hard-throwing righty. He was the closer at times last year for Navy, but has struggled here this year. Right-hander misses with the first pitch. It's 1-0.
Bartek, he has that quick arm. He gets that ball up and out in a quick manner, and it jumps on a hitter.
Fleming hits it through the left side for a base hit. Lehigh threatening here, first and second, nobody out. First hit of the championship series for the freshman James Fleming.
No better time to do it than in game 3 and get 2 on here with nobody out in the top of the order. It's important, Mike, to turn over that lineup. And a lot of people talk about it all the time, but with as good of a top of a lineup that Lehigh has, it's always good to get them as many at-bats in the game as you can.
Who's Justin Pacioli, as it looks like there's going to be more activity in the Navy pen. It's going to be short leases. You saw Sam Sorensen run down there. He pitched in both games yesterday. Threw a lot of pitches, but he's been one of their more dependable relievers. First and second, nobody out. Here's Pacioli, second on the team in hitting, came in at .351. He's 1 for 2 today, 2 for 11 in the championship series. Field at double play depth. Macaione, extremely fast runner, and Bartek will go to the inside move to try and keep McKay close at second.
Also, I think also, Mike, to see if he's going to bunt. See if he shows bunt here with nobody out in first and second, down 2-0.
You wonder how many innings they're going to need out of Bartek in this one. So he squares the bunt, takes in the dirt, it's 1-0.
I think too many hitters, Mike, they square around too early and give it away. You need to be out early to set your angle and create your stance, but you also don't want to give it away and be susceptible to that inside move or pickoff.
McKay not with much of a lead at second. Bartek's 1-0, he squares the bunt, takes outside, and it's 2-0. And now you wonder if they take the bunt off with as accomplished a hitter as Macaione is. In fact, you saw him look down there at Sean Leary, the head coach at third.
And Coach Leary's not even looking at him. He doesn't even want to look at him. I've been there too.
Basically, he squared around the first 2 times. He squares here and he lays it down. There's got to play at third, and he throws it away. It's into the Navy bullpen. McKay will score. Fleming goes to third, Macaione to second. It's a 2-1 game. Bartek had a play absolutely at third base. We talked about McKay not getting a big lead at second, and he had him dead to rights at third.
Absolutely. Yesterday this happened with Navy as well. McGrath threw that ball high to shortstop. Blue at short, same thing happened. Navy kicking themselves for throwing the ball around on these bunt plays. And that's what, you got to play good catch. In any game, but especially in a game like this, every out is important. Let's take another look at this, Mike, and see how under control he was when he caught this ball. 2 hands, he stepped and fired, and he just pulled that. He yanked it. And more importantly, let's add that the garage doors are open down there in the batting cage. If that was closed, that probably rolls down a little bit longer, maybe perhaps another run.
So it may have saved a run. Now it's second and third and nobody out for Nalesnik, who squares the bunt, bunts it in the air, and will bunt it foul.
Little safety squeeze there, try to get the ball down and try to steal another run. Interesting there. I wonder if that was on his own or that was called from the coach.
Second and third, the error on Bartek, it goes as a fielder's choice for Macaione. Great speed on the bases for Lehigh. So even a shallow fly ball, you would think that Fleming would be trying to tag and score. Deneen and Wright has the best arm of the Navy outfielders. 0-1 the count to Nalesnik. The pitch, swing and a miss.
Well, the easy job here, Mike, with nobody out and Navy's infield, middle infield back, is that ground ball to the middle of the field, get the run in, tie this ball game up. Easier said than done, but that will also, you don't just need a base hit in this situation.
The dangerous Mike Garzillo on deck for Lehigh. Lesnick's walked twice, but he's behind 0-2. 2-1 Lehigh trailing but threatening in the top of the 5th. This has been a tremendous championship series. The 0-2, swing and a bouncer to short. That'll get the job done. Blue charges, double clutches, throws, in time to get him. A very close play at first. I think that from here, too close to call. Fleming scores. 6-3, the put out an RBI, and the game is tied.
Mike, I think what cost Blue there, even though we got it, we'll take another look at this, is he took a glance at home real quick. We'll take another look here.
He beat it.
Oh, he beat it, Mike. I agree with you. But Blue, he cost himself there, even if it was called safe. He took a quick glance to home, looking like he wanted to throw him home, and then threw the first base, making it that play as close as it was.
Now here's Mike Garzillo, the go-ahead run at third with 1 out. Swings and misses. Boy, they have given him a steady diet of sliders to start here.
I see Lehigh starting to be aggressive again. We mentioned they were a little passive at the beginning of the game. Now they're starting to get to be themselves, and again, tying the ball game helps.
0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. A lot more energy coming from the Lehigh side. Garzillo to center. Curry coming over, makes the catch. Macaione will tie, and the Mountain Hawks have played in 3 here in the 5th to take a 3-2 lead.
That's good baseball right there by Garzillo. He's seeing that pitch. He saw it before. He saw it again. Stayed to the big part of the field. Don't just need to get a hit to drive guys in. That's a great sac fly. Put his team up ahead 3-2.
2 outs, nobody on now for Patrick Donnelly. 3-2 in the blink of an eye. Lehigh has claimed the lead after Navy got 2 in the bottom of the 4th. The first pitch to Donnelly, checks his swing. Did he go? There is no appeal. It's ball 1. Donnelly is 1 for 2.
That's where that slider has to be, Mike. It has to be on the outside because it's so tight with that sharp bite. You got to start on the outside corner.
Pitch, there's a strike. It's 1-1. Bartek really gets downhill pretty well, doesn't he?
Yeah, that tilt we talked about yesterday, too, from a pitcher. As a hitter, if you're seeing tilt from the pitcher, it's tough to stay through that ball.
1-1, swing and a miss. Chase the high fastball that time, changing the eye level. It's 1-2.
Yeah, slider down, fastball up. Let's see if he goes to that slider low and away to change that eye level, as you were just talking about.
The 1-2 outside. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lehigh with 3 runs here in the 5th to take the 3-2 lead. Winner goes to regionals. The pitch, swing and a miss. Swung over the top of that one. Donnelly down on strikes, but the damage done. Lehigh scores 3 times. We are halfway home in the Patriot League Baseball Championship. Game 3, it's Lehigh 3, Navy 2 on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Bottom of the 5th, Lehigh leading Navy 3-2. Mike Farron, Kevin Wilson. Here at Terwilliger Brothers Field at Max Bishop Stadium on the Annapolis campus of the Naval Academy. We have seen seesaw affairs the last 2 games. And now Lehigh with the lead as Logan Knowles leads off for the midshipmen. 3-3-1 for Lehigh. They've left 4 on base. 2-3-1 for Navy. They have left 3 on base. 8-9-1 for the midshipmen in this inning. Knowles bounces it to second. Backhanded by Garzillo. Straightens up, fires. Leadoff man gone. Boy, has he been busy today, Garzillo.
Been busy. Again, utilizing that backhand instead of coming around it and getting in front of it. The easier play is with that backhand like Garzillo did. It just sets you up in a better position to make a good, accurate, strong throw to first base.
6 assists for the second baseman in this one on the ground. He had another play that could have been made, but there was nobody covering first. 1 out for Travis Blue. Blue grounded to second his first time. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. Every time one of these teams has rallied, it seemed like the other one has answered. Certainly since about the middle of game 2, it has been back and forth. Lehigh won game 1 7-3. Navy won game 2 9, 8, and 11 innings. The last 2 innings of that, well, actually the last inning and a half, were played this morning. There is activity in the bullpen for Lehigh. Grounder to short. Gobbling it up there is John Elson. He'll throw to first. 2 up, 2 down. And the pitcher getting loose for Lehigh is Nick Stevens, the senior right-hander who started yesterday. Stevens threw 86 pitches yesterday, but had to leave with some cramping in his hamstring. Maybe they feel like they can get another 20 pitches or so out of him today, but there you get a look at the senior right-hander. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Robert Curry. Squares the bunt, takes high. It's 1-0. 3-2, Lehigh leading in the 5th. Right now, I don't know that I would do much. Macaione's really made 1 bad pitch, and that was on the double to Chinnery. He has been on a roll. This is his 3rd time through the order. Curry hits it in the air to right. Melesnik froze. Now coming in, makes the catch. 1-2-3. Go the midshipmen in the 5th. We've played 5. Lehigh 3, Navy 2 on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Top 6, Lehigh leading Navy 3-2. The first pitch to John Elson up high. It's 1-0. Elson 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Lehigh with 3 in the 5th to take the lead after Navy scored twice in the 4th. Elson swings and misses. Andrew Bartek on for his 2nd inning of work.
Starting to feel like a game 3, Mike, the last couple innings.
It is. You're starting to get that intensity building. You've been waiting for that. We've had a couple of calls that haven't gone coaches' ways. It's fouled at the plate. They've led to some intensity from them. You've seen the players react to that. You've seen some frustration from players.
It was interesting talking to Coach Leary the other day during the week. We had a phone call with him, and the topic came of arguments on umpires. And, you know, his philosophy is I don't want to get fired up because I don't want to show my team that I'm out of control. I want to keep that calm. I thought that was an interesting point he made during the week.
And, well, you can certainly understand, why he would get fired up today, though, too. Swinging a foul down the right field line by Elson. Deneen will give it chase, but it's well out of play. You see Deneen, we talked about it yesterday. He plays hard all the time. He thinks he's going to catch every ball in the corner there.
And you want that from an outfielder, but you also want him to have some field awareness and be ready for that brick wall.
There's a little bit of Brett Gardner in him in the way he chases down foul balls. The 1-2 on its way. Outside, ball 2. Kyle Condrey started this game for Navy after getting the final 6 outs, the continuation of the suspended game, getting the win in game 2. With 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Check swing, did Elson go? No, says the first base umpire, Ricky Cacciatore. And the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cacciatore heard it a little earlier when he called Connor Faust down on a check swing. He gives Elson the benefit of the doubt there. The payoff on its way to Elson. Here it is. Swing and a bouncer to third. Knowles to his left has it. Fires across. 1 away as Elson had to cut to the inside of the bag so he didn't collide with McGrath. 1 away.
Yeah, as a base runner, excuse me, Mike, as a base runner, you don't want to, for me, you don't want to slide head first, but the only option he had is you didn't want to collide with the first baseman. We'll take another look at it. And sometimes you have to kind of get out of the way. He's coming across the bag, and you're right away as a runner, but at the same time, you want to stay away from the collision as best you can.
1 out for Patrick Walsh. Walsh is 0 for 2. He struck out looking and flied to left. He had a mighty cut of the first pitch from Bartek. It's 0-1.
Sitting on that slider again. He got it. He did that last at bat as well, Walsh, but he's right on it. Just happened to miss it.
Walsh with some big power, 6 homers. Sean Leary called him the best teammate he's ever coached in 20 years at Lehigh. He's behind 0-2.
That shows me, Mike, he's got a little bit of an idea of what he wants to hit and what he's getting. He's just not putting the barrel on the ball right now. He's not flailing at it wildly or anything like that. He's right on time with it, but he's just missing it.
Well, it's time there to step out. 0-2 the count, trying to slow Bartek down. 3-2 Lehigh leads, batting in the top of the 6th. Set in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. Chinnery will throw to first to complete the out. Second out here in the 6th.
Chinnery continues to work hard back there, Mike, getting in a great position. We mentioned it yesterday, but it's well worth mentioning again how athletic he is. He reminds me of Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. The build and the way he moves behind there. Did a great job picking that up, taking his time, making sure he creates a lane at an angle to throw down the first so he's not throwing over the runner to make a strike to first base.
2 outs, nobody on for Connor Faust. And the first pitch is a ball outside to the first baseman. In his last at bat, it was eventful. He had a long foul ball down the left field line that was ruled foul. It was hooking from our angle where we are, just off to the first base side of home plate as he checks his swing that time. It did look like it was foul. Our replay angle came from the first base side, made it look like it was fair. Sean Leary was very upset about it, and then Faust was called out on a check swing and spiked his bat into the ground on his way back to the dugout.
Another interesting thing, Mike, they're using 2 sets of signs with nobody on base. I wonder if they feel like they're getting the signs from somebody, maybe our center field cam. It's interesting how Navy is calling their signs with nobody on base.
2 balls and 1 strike. They count to Faust. Set and the pitch. Swing and a bouncer to short. Gobbled up there by Blue. Double clutches. Throws in time to get Faust. 1-2-3 inning for Bartek, who's set down 6 in a row now. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lehigh 3, Navy 2 on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. See every buzzer beater, hear every cheer on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders, where fans can view live events and video on-demand features on their computer and various mobile devices. Visit patriotleague.tv to watch archived games throughout the summer, or view feature stories on your favorite school. You can also download the mobile app from the Patriot League website. Bottom 6, 3-2 Lehigh. Brad Borisic rips one to first, diving, stopped by Faust, scrambles to his feet, and gets to the bag ahead of the speedy Borisic, the leadoff man gone here in the 6th.
That's one of the best plays I think we've seen all series, Mike. That ball was scorched down the first base side. And Faust laying out. That ball, I think, almost caught him. I don't know if he caught that ball. It's one of the balls that were hit so hard. Let's take another look at this. Ball scorched down the line, right on the line, playing down the line, or else that's a clear double at least down the line. Great job, got up and made the out.
Here's Sean Trent. Trent hitting at .410 now up to the moment of the season. 0 for 2 in this one. Patriot League Player of the Year takes outside. It's 2-0. One of the leading hitters in the nation. 94 hits on the season. Junior transfer from Manatee Community College. 2-0. Swing and a bouncer to short. There's Elson again over the top of the throw. 2 quick outs, and right now, Macaione is rolling. Since the Chinnery double, he's set down 6 in a row. He's been a big part of the story in this game today. Is here's Stephen Bourne. Bourne was hit by a pitch with 2 outs in the 4th and then scored on that Chinnery double. Just 64 pitches for Macaione to this point. 38 for strikes. Here's pitch number 65.
He's in that good rhythm. You mentioned it before about the bullpen, and he's cruising along right here. He's a good rhythm. Might as well let him keep going.
The 0-1 breaking ball hit in the air to left. There's Blemming. He's got it. 1, 2, 3 go the midshipmen in the 6th. We've played 6. Lehigh leading Navy 3-2. A bid in the NCAA Regionals on the line on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Top of the 7th, Tim McKay, the number 8 hitter for Lehigh, leading things off. It'll be McKay, Blemming, and Pacioli. Lehigh leads 3-2. McKay got things started in the 5th in the 3-run rally for Lehigh, being hit by a pitch, and he hits this one towards the middle. Blue stumbles as he fields, straightens up, throws to first, 1 away. You see that a little bit. I wonder if part of that's the field turf. You see some guys that it's like their footing grabs, they're unsure, and then they're sure of it, kind of.
Yeah, it's tough. When you wear spikes on this turf, it's pretty long and it's grabbing, as you mentioned, and especially with a play like that, when your head goes down, your head is the heaviest part of your body, so once your head falls forward or goes down, you need to get your feet under you to keep you upright. He did a good job knowing the runner, too. It wasn't a speedy runner.
Here's Blemming. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. He singled and ended Kyle Condrey, the starter for Navy's day, in that 5th. Came around to score later on an RBI groundout from Jason Nalesnik. 3-2 Lehigh leads. Way out in front of that breaking ball. It's 0-2. And Bartek, really since the error that he committed on the bunt that allowed a run to score and kind of opened the floodgates in that 5th, has been nailed. 7 in a row set down.
He's throwing more strikes, Mike. He's getting that depth back to that pitch. You know what he reminds me of? I don't know what you think, but almost like a Kevin Gregg type of delivery. And he has that depth to his ball. And that's the thing. Once the ball starts going down and away from us, that's tough for a hitter to bring that ball up. 1-2
swing and a miss. That's 8 in a row set down by Bartek. Third strikeout. 2 outs, nobody on for Justin Pacioli here in the 7th.
You have a pitcher, Mike, with the guy that has that depth to it and sink or run. You need to elevate that ball. You're going to try to look up. It's kind of the old adage of see it high, let it fly, see it low, let it go. Lehigh's hitters, if he's getting on like he is now, Lehigh hitters have to see that ball up or do their best to bring the baseball up into the hitting zone a little more.
Pacioli is 1 for 3. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. And his bunt was the big play in that 3-run 5th inning. It looked like a play Bartek had on the lead runner at third. He threw away. It allowed a run to score and set up 2nd and 3rd, nobody out for Lehigh. And both those runners were plated. Lesnick with an RBI groundout. Garzillo with a sacrifice fly. Navy scoring an Adrian Chenery 2-run double in the 4th. 3-2 the score in the 7th. Pitch, swing and a miss. He went around that time. No need to appeal as the home plate umpire Tim Detweiler called it there.
He's starting to throw more strikes again, and he's getting back into that rhythm. There's no conferences on the mound or people coming to talk to him. He's starting to settle back down into a rhythm.
The set and the 1-2, swinging a liner to right field. That's a base hit for Pacioli.
Came in,
1 for 9 in this series and before today, and now 2 for 4 in this one for Pacioli. And now here's Nalesnik, and he's been in the middle of a lot.
That's what happens to good hitters, excuse me, Mike, is your 1-2 pitch down the middle. Good hitters were going to get off good swings on that. It's, he gave him a cookie there and he got burned, but with 2 outs here, he still got an opportunity to get out of the inning unscathed.
And you wonder if Pacioli will be running to trying to get into scoring position. It is just a 1-run lead. He stole a base his last trip.
Big lead.
Bartek set, and the first pitch is up high. Snap throw behind the runner, and he throws it into right field. Pacioli hustling to second will beat the throw of Deneen. It's going to be an error on the catcher, Chinnery, and now Nalesnik ahead in the count. We've already seen he has an ability to use the middle of the field. Drove in a run with a ground out his last time. Now a base hit could give Lehigh an insurance run.
I think Chinnery saw what we just saw there, big lead with an additional secondary, getting him further off the base. He thought he could throw behind them. Again, going back to that importance of playing good catch, let's take a look at this again. But that's just if you're going to do this, it's fine, but you have to make sure you throw a strike down there. And even if he's safe, that's fine. He's still at first base. Now he's at second.
Yeah, it looked like he threw a little bit of a cutter to him at first. And that one hits Nalesnik. So Nalesnik hit by the pitch, and now it's first and second, 2 outs, and here's Mike Garzillo. And the last time Garzillo hit, he drove in the go-ahead run for Lehigh. He's knocked in 7 runs in this series. He is now 6 for 12. He's fanned 4 times. He's hit 3 homers. He's had a double. And Bobby Applegate's out to talk, the pitching coach for Navy, taking a long, slow walk out here. Now the question is, how do you pitch Garzillo in the spot? You don't want to push another runner to third, but you may have a pitching change coming up here in a second.
Someone's warming up in the Navy bullpen. For those of you that weren't with us yesterday, the Navy bullpen is inside their indoor hitting facility.
You can see somebody sitting there guarding the pitchers inside.
Looks to be a right-hander from my vantage point, but I'm not the one wearing glasses like you might.
Well, from my vantage point, I can't really see. Applegate taking a lot of time here. This may just be a conference to try and get him out of this jam. What they want to do with Garzillo, let him get loose. Yesterday, the pitchers for Navy, the relievers, threw a ton of pitches. And their top 2 guys between game 1, which they were in for most of, and game 2, which was a seesaw extra inning affair, Sam Sorensen threw 49 pitches combined between the 2 games. Jet Minek threw 53 pitches if you count the intentional walk that he finished issuing today. To me, that's an awful lot from your 2 key guys in that spot, so you wonder how much they're going to have to go to Bartek. The conference is over. Here we go. 3-2, Lehigh leads. First and second, 2 outs. Mike Garzillo at the plate. He already set Lehigh's single-season home run record yesterday, and he takes the first pitch low. It's 1-0.
Chinnery needs to continue to work hard back there. Navy cannot afford a ball to the backstop, advancing the runners second to third.
It was a 7th inning grand slam from Garzillo yesterday that blew open a tight game 1. As he takes low and away, it's 2-0, and it doesn't look like they're going to give him a fastball at all here. Change-up first pitch, slider the second pitch. Does not seem like they want to throw him a strike.
And you got to be careful there, because now you're starting to feel, and all of a sudden you start to feel, and then all of a sudden you leave a mistake up or maybe a ball too much in the dirt.
The 2-0 on its way. Pacioli breaks for third. The pitch is in the dirt. It's a double steal. And now that leaves the base open for Garzillo. And you know you don't want to put an extra base runner on as Pacioli steals his 30th base of the season. Nalesnik, the trail runner, gets his 11th. But it's going to put Garzillo on with the intentional walk, and the bases are loaded for Patrick Donnelly.
It's an interesting call by Coach Leary, like you said, to get the runners in motion. He may have been thinking, Mike, that he could steal a fastball, a little run and hit motion, and get the guys going. But yeah, now you steal second and third. You leave that base open for the intentional walk. But the good thing for Lehigh is they got more damage behind Garzillo.
And that's going to be it for Bartek. Bartek will be done. Bases are loaded, top of the 7th, 2 outs. Patrick Donnelly, the sophomore all-league third baseman, will be the next hitter for Lehigh as they go to the pen. And we'll tell you about Navy's new pitcher in just a moment. Bases loaded. 2 outs, 3-2, Lehigh leading in the top of the 7th. Talk about Sam Sorensen next on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Top of the 7th inning, bases loaded. 2 outs for Lehigh. Sam Sorensen is the new pitcher for the Naval Academy. 49 pitches yesterday, 18 in game 1, 31 in game 2. Sorensen has been among their most dependable. You see it there, 2.57 ERA, 49 innings, 12 hits, 50 strikeouts. Fastball slider guy, and he's going to face Patrick Donnelly. We talked about it before. Donnelly has been an outstanding postseason performer his first 2 years at Lehigh. First pitch is a slider, low and away. It's 1-0. Donnelly's seen a steady diet of breaking balls early in the count. He lays off it there.
Yeah, and it's type of similar delivery, Mike. You're bringing in pretty much the same type of delivery in a pitcher in Sorensen.
The 1-0, called strike. It's 1-1.
And that's the thing. Macaione is a different look for Lehigh than what Navy's used to. And Navy's bringing in, even though Sorensen did well his second time around yesterday, it's a similar look to Bartek.
The 1-1, swing and a drive to center. Curry's got a beat on it. He will make the catch, inning over. The Navy bench explodes to high-five Sam Sorensen as he gets out of a bases-loaded two-out jam. It's time to stretch in Annapolis. Lehigh leading Navy 3-2 in the Patriot League Championship Finals on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Bottom of the 7th inning, Navy sends the 5th, 6th, and 7th hitters in their lineup against Nick Macaione, who has been dynamite to this point. 66 pitches for the left-hander, just 3 hits allowed. And the first pitch misses low and away. It's 1-0 to Connor Deneen. If you're just joining us in this finale, Navy got a 2-run double from Adrian Chinnery in the 4th. Lehigh 3 runs in the 5th. Grounder to second, and Mike Garzillo has been busy defensively today. Leadoff man gone here in the 7th.
The one thing I've noticed so far in this series, Mike, about the way that this Navy infield, the surface plays, is it gives these guys an extra step, maybe step and a half, to go get these baseballs, secure them, and turn them into outs. And Garzillo's been busy amongst everybody else, but I think that's an advantage as an infielder too, knowing that you can get to more baseballs. It still comes down to positioning and understanding where the pitch and what pitch is going.
The pitch from Macaione to Chinnery is a strike. It's 0-1. He's been about the only guy that's been able to figure him out. Just 3 hits, as we saw, allowed by Macaione. And what's been a pretty offensive series so far. We saw 27 runs scored between the first 2 games. Just 5 today. Breaking ball missed in. It's 1-1. Macaione now with that ground out by Deneen. 13 ground ball outs in this game. Pitch. Swing at a bouncer to short. This could be number 14. Elson over the top to first, and Faust dropped it. Faust just flat missed that throw. Be interesting to see who they give the error to there. I would be inclined to give it to the first baseman because he just kind of whiffed on it.
Yeah, I would go with you, Mike. We'll take another look at this here. The ball's right there.
Throw
in his
never
mid.
hit the dirt. It was right off his glove.
Just missed it. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Faust. But again, cannot give Navy any outs if you're Lehigh. Now you gave them another out. Should be 2 in the inning, but Macaione needs to bear down.
First pitch popped up by McGrath, first base side. Faust is calling for it. The wind picks up just at that moment, and Faust makes the grab. And that's a huge second out with the tying run at first.
Yeah, Macaione came back and did what he had to do to secure that second out. Now he's still not out of the inning, Mike. He needs to be able to bear down here on Knowles. Another lefty-lefty matchup.
Macaione getting McGrath to swing at the first pitch. 2 outs, man at first. Lehigh leading Navy 3-2. Chinnery is not a speed demon, so you don't expect him to run. Pitch to Knowles. There's a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Great pitch. Great first pitch there. Nothing that Knowles could do with that ball, I think, other than foul it off his foot. And obviously doesn't want to do that, but great first pitch strike there. Fastball down and in to Knowles.
The 0-1 on its way. Breaking ball in the dirt. The count 1 ball and 1 strike now to Knowles.
Macaione has that almost like a 10-5 or 11-5 sweep if you're looking on a clock with his breaking ball. And that's tough because not only does it have movement east to west, but he's got that depth at the end of it that makes it difficult for hitters.
The 1-1 inside, the count now 2-1. And Maccaione's won at just about every level he's been at in high school. Set the career record for victories.
I like how he's not afraid to come inside either, lefty on Knowles. He crowds him in there maybe for that sweeping breaking ball away.
2-1, hit on the ground, past the diving Faust, and down the line into right. Chinnery is on his way to third, Nalesnik falls down. Chinnery coming home to score. The relay from Faust goes to third, and it is not in time. Navy has tied the game. I thought Faust might have a play at the plate on Chinnery. He tried to get the runner going to third, but Nalesnik stumbled as he was picking up that ball, and Navy has tied it.
Yeah, Mike, Faust, when he received that ball, he was looking right at that runner. Knowles going to third base. We'll take another look at it. If he made a good throw, I firmly believe that he would have been out, but his throw is a little bit high. He came inside, Macaione again, another fastball inside, doubled up in. Knowles got the head around, a little stumble out there. But here's the relay throw that I'm talking about. Faust, it's right in front of him. He's more angled toward the guy going to third base, and he just happened to throw a little bit high.
So now the go-ahead run is at third as McCain knocks that one down. That's a big stop here. There's going to be pressure on McCain to try and stop anything in the dirt. 1-0 the count. 3-3 the score, bottom of the 7th. Go-ahead run at third. The pitch to Blue, outside a ball, it's 2-0.
And if I was Knowles at third base, Mike, I would inch down even further. Right-handed batter, left-handed thrower. If the left-handed pitcher has his back to you, inch down. In case of a ball in the dirt, you can get home quicker.
The 2-0. Outside ball 3, and the last thing you want to do is flip the lineup over here with Blue. He is 3 for 8 in this series. Robert Curry, who is the leadoff man, was a second-team All-Patriot League selection, waiting on deck.
And the Blues taking all the way here, 3-0.
Pitch is a strike. It's 3-1.
Because the reason why I talked about Knowles at third base inching down the line a little bit more is McKay hasn't really shown us in this series that he's very good at blocking the baseball consistently. So you're always looking for that extra run in any way you can.
The 3-1, swinging a foul back to the screen. He was out in front a little bit on that one. Trying to keep the hands back.
Yeah, sometimes the good pitchers, a 3-1 or in plus count, we'll call it a BP fastball, where instead of throwing at 86, they'll throw at 84 just to get the hitter a tick out in front. He may have, in fact, thrown that BP fastball to Blue.
The 3-2, swing and a bouncer to short. Elson gobbles this one up, throws to first, inning over. But the error comes home to roost. And Navy has tied the score. We've played 7, Lehigh 3, Navy 3 on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. 3-3 our score. The final game, Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series. 3-4-2 for Lehigh and Navy. Just about as even as you can get. Navy's left 4 men on base. Lehigh's left 6 in this final game. The winner goes to the NCAA Regional, become the 4th team to punch their ticket. As the first pitch to John Elson swung on and missed, it's 0-1. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Lehigh order. Elson, Walsh, and Connor Faust to face Sam Sorensen, who got the final out of the 7th with the bases loaded. The 0-1, swinging a ground ball, base hit left field. Elson's 6th hit of the championship series, and the leadoff man is aboard here in the 8th.
This looks awfully familiar, doesn't it, Mike? Tie score, 8th inning, close ball game. Elson doing a great job finding a way to get on base here. And it's not as short as the base runners in this game, it's just what they're doing with those base runners while they're on base.
And we have a pinch hitter here for Patrick Walsh. This will be Chris Kersey, who pinch ran for him in Game 2. Kersey's going to be coming in to lay down a bunt. So Walsh, they take some power out of the lineup. He was tied for 3rd on this team in home runs. But they are going to try and play for 1 here in the 8th.
Now Kersey has a job to do. Get this down, away from the pitcher, execute. Execute what you're in there for. I've been in this situation, Mike. I've been pitch hit for, and I've also been the pitch hitter to come in and make a sacrifice bunt. And again, he's back in the box a little bit, but your job is to get up in the box on the plate, because you want to have contact in fair territory. You don't want to be making contact on the plate or in foul territory behind you. You want to give your best chance to get out there. He's kind of in the middle of the box. Let's see if he can get this down.
It's a big spot for the freshman, who takes a strike, and now he's behind 0-2.
Can't be too picky when you're trying to sack bunt. All you're trying to do is just get it down away from the pitcher, down the third base or first base line. That was a great pitch to do that on, but let's see if we keep it on here. I would assume so.
0-2, man at first, top of the 8th. 3-3 the score. The pitch, Kersey swinging away, swings and misses a slider in the dirt, and he's gone on 3 pitches, 1 out.
And that's tough for Coach Leary. He brought him in to execute one thing, and you didn't get that in. For the 2nd game in a row, you get Walsh, a big bat, out of the lineup. First time in Game 2 for a pinch runner, this time for a pinch hitter. But we got 1 out here, and we got to see what Faust can do.
Here's Connor Faust. He's been the middle of just about everything in this game. 0 for 3 and 0 for 11 in the championship series. 3-3 the score. First pitch to Faust, fastball inside, it's 1-0.
I had some depth on that pitch, some movement down and in. That was some good arm side run and depth to that. That's a tough pitch to even offer at. Good thing it went out of the zone for Faust.
Wind picking up, blowing out towards center field. The 1-0. There's a called strike. It is 1-1. Looking ahead to the Navy 8th, they will have the top of their order up. Be interesting to see if Macaione continues. His pitch count's certainly manageable, but it'll be the 4th time he's facing the order. Set. The 1-1. Faust hits it to 3rd, could be 2. Knowles backs up, goes to 2nd for 1. No, foul ball. They're going to call it foul ball at home plate. They can call it a foul ball at home plate? No, they're not. Everybody is running off the field. Faust fouled it off his foot, and he is irate. That's the second time today that that's happened to him, where he's had a call going against him. And now they're going to get the officials together.
I think something happened. I think a Navy player bumped into Coach Leary on his way off the field.
And there's been a little bit of a reaction, but it looks like that is going to be it for the inning.
I didn't think it hit him at all coming off the bat, Mike, but that replay also shows that was a tougher angle, but it still looked like it didn't catch him at all.
And it looks like they are going to keep it as a 5-4-3 double play. And that was, remember, Faust was in the middle of the controversial hit by pitch yesterday, too. 7.5 in the books. Lehigh and Navy's tied at 3 on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. 3-3, bottom of the 8th, top of the order for Navy here as they face Macaione. And here's a look at the double play that ended the 7th again. Connor Faust thought he fouled it off his foot. And it looks like he did. He got it off his toe there. The home plate umpire didn't call it. Now Curry drives one to right center field. But Pacioli's got a beat on it and makes the catch, one away. Boy, when he gets a chance to glide, he glides in the outfield. One gone.
Absolutely, it's smooth. I mentioned, I think, to you yesterday, an Andrew Jones kind of glide to it in the outfield. Fly balls, I feel he's pretty good at. The ground balls, yesterday you saw we coughed a couple up yesterday on the ground balls to the outfield. But that was great camera work going back to that foul ball, Mike, and that showed us that, in fact, may have gone off his foot. It looked like it from that angle.
Faust has been called out on a check swing. He had what was nearly a home run that was called foul. Fastball's a strike to Borisic. It's 0-1, so it's been a frustrating day. He was involved in an error that helped to lead to the tying run for Navy in the 7th. Here's Borisic, who's 1 for 3. Left-handed hitting senior second baseman waits. Breaking ball outside, and the count now 1-1.
These type of games, Mike, you cannot let your emotions get the best of you. Way easier said than done, but it's all about staying in the moment, doing what you can do and controlling what you can control.
Liner foul, and ducking out of the way of it is Tommy Chase, the Navy first base coach. He's got a little giggle about it. He's going to look at some of the midshipmen waiting to try and cheer on their teammates to victory here today. Bottom 8, 3-3 the score, the pitch. Inside to the screen, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I wonder if that was a cross-up there. As McKay goes out to talk Macaione, sometimes that's a catcher's coming out to talk to a pitcher, and he flat out misses it, like that. It could have been a cross-up.
Macaione has been very efficient to this point today. Left-hander has gone the whole way for Lehigh. 2-2, foul back and out of play, and this next pitch will be his 90th of the game.
You continue to crowd those left-handed hitters in Navy, and I think it's a good idea. Again, a lefty-on-lefty matchup. As a left-handed hitter, you're trying to keep that front shoulder in as best as you can. Try to keep your angle in as best you can.
2-2, hit on the ground to first. Faust gobbles it up. He'll take it himself. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th.
Seen a little more body language in this game 3 as well, Mike. Again, tension's running high, a lot on the line, and it's tough as a player to separate yourself from in the moment into what you have to do.
Here's Sean Trent. His batting average now at .409, 3 for 13 in the championship series. The Patriot League Player of the Year. Takes a fastball high, it's 1-0. Those 2 outs were important because it means that there is no one on base for Trent. Trent scored the winning run in game 2. He also had a big 2-run double in that game. 1-0, outside a ball, and the count now 2-0 to Trent. Left-handed hitting Stephen Bourne on deck. 3-3 the score, bottom 8.
One thing I've been liking about Sean Trent in this series is there's not a lot of chase in Sean. He pretty much keeps that ball in the zone.
2-0, there's a strike. Like he was trying to go away, came in. It's 2-1.
That's the other thing as a hitter, you don't necessarily know where the catcher sets up, and then actually you know where the ball goes, but sometimes you don't know where that catcher sets up, if he missed a spot or if he hit it.
2-1, hit in the air to right. Now Lesnick has a beat on it, circling in, makes the catch. 1-2-3-8 for Macaione. He's been outstanding today, and we head to the 9th. Lehigh and Navy tied at 3. The winner goes to the NCAAs. You're watching the Patriot League Baseball Championship on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. The final game of the Patriot League Baseball Championships, 3-3 the score, top of the ninth. Tim Mackay to lead things off against Sam Sorensen, and he swings and misses at a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Well, Mike, thanks to our statistician, Dave Freeman, I had a hunch that Tim Mackay has led off a few innings here. This is his 7th time leading off an inning for Lehigh in this series, the 4th time today alone. And
he sparked the 3-run rally in the 5th for Lehigh. That's where they had all their scoring. He was hit by a pitch to lead off that frame. Recap how we got here in just a moment. Pitch from Sorensen, fastball strike, it's 1-2. Navy scored first and a 2-run double from Adrian Chinnery in the 4th. Then Lehigh scored 3 times. Mackay hit by a pitch, Blemming, the 9-hitter, a single, and then on a bunt, the reliever Andrew Bartek threw it away and that helped to lead to a 3-run frame. As Borsic gobbles up that one, and the leadoff hitter retired here in the 9th. Navy got one back in the 7th. Chinnery reached on a 1-out error by the first baseman Connor Faust, where he just missed a throw, and then a 2-out RBI triple from freshman Logan Knowles, and that's where we stand. 3-3. Top of the 9th, and here's James Blemming. 1 for 3 in this one, 1 for 9 in the championship series. Speedy outfielder. Knowles guarding the line at 3rd, and Blemming squares the bunt, pulls back. They appeal to first, no swing, says the first base umpire Ricky Cacciatore.
Navy has McGrath at first base, a little bit closer to the line, but Knowles hugging the line at 3rd, trying to prevent a double from the pull side.
The 1-0, swinging a bouncer into the 3rd base dugout. It's 1-1. Now Blemming hits a lot of balls between 3rd and short, and Blue, as you can see, is playing towards the middle more. That's where his base hit went the last time, was to the left of Knowles. Lines out one to center, coming on is Curry. He can't get it, it's a base hit. Second hit for James Blemming, and it brings the lead-up man Justin Pacioli up. And now you start thinking, if you're Lehigh, if we can get another base runner, it may mean that Mike Garzillo hits in this inning. Garzillo with 3 homers in this championship series. Here's Pacioli, who has 2 hits, 2 stolen bases today. 3-3 the score, top of the 9th. Blemming only 2 stolen bases on the year, but he could really run. Be interesting to see if Lehigh pushes the envelope with him here with Pacioli up. Infield double play depth up the middle. First pitch, tried to check his swing. Did he? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire, Ricky Cacciatore. It's 1-0. Pacioli a little bit aggressive here, trying to be a little bit aggressive. Sorensen's pitched a lot in every game of this series. Ball misses away. It's 2-0. Sorensen threw 49 pitches yesterday combined between his 2 outings. He came in with 2 outs here in the 7th today. He's thrown 20 today. So a lot of work. Whereas Lehigh, which ran through its bullpen a lot in game 2, hasn't gone to it yet. It's been all Macaione to this point. And now Sorensen has to go through the best hitters in the Lehigh lineup. Sorensen set the 2-0. There's a strike, it's 2-1.
Yeah, got back on that fastball, Mike, and get that in there 2-0. And that's the thing. I think the most important part, if Pacioli is going to drive one, you know, he's got to earn it. But that was a well-placed 2-0 fastball by Sorensen.
Blemming not with much of a lead at first. Throw over, and he flops back.
That's why command is so huge, Mike. You have to be able to command all your pitches the best you can, but especially that fastball, a well-placed 2-0 fastball. That gets you, even though the hitter's still in a 2-1 count, that helps out the pitcher with at least 1 strike.
Swing and a foul. Big hat from Pacioli that time. Got a little off balance on it, too. It's 2-2.
Moving both sides of the plate with that fastball, Mike. That was running in on him. You caught Pacioli leaning out over the plate, expecting that ball to be outside. Tied him up a little bit there.
Now Lesnick, who's been on base 3 times, waiting on deck. 3-3 the score. Sorensen trying to get out of this 1-out jam. Potential go-ahead run is at first. The set and the 2-2, ball 3.
So you got him leaning out. I wonder if they come back with that fastball 3-2 inside, try to tie him up, or they go away again with that slider.
Pacioli puts the ball in play too. You wonder if they may a little hit and run here with 1 out. Sorensen to the belt, a long look, and then he will throw over, and Blemming dives back safely. He's taking a very short lead. I think you would call that a one-way lead, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the way that he's set up too, we can see this right here. His feet are not very spread apart, so that's not a great athletic stance if you're going to steal a base.
Patriot taking time to readjust his batting gloves at the plate.
Good gamemanship there, I think. Little throw over there. Made Pacioli wait. Now Pacioli's going to make Sorensen wait. But you notice, like I said, he leans off of first base. His feet are not wide to be able to steal. Now he's inching a little wider.
He's going, 3-2, hit on the ground to short. Blue will hustle to the bag for one. The throw to first in time, but he's safe at second. Blue never touched second base. A good call by the second base umpire, Tim Detweiler. It was pretty clear that Blue came close to the bag, but couldn't get there in time. So now there's 2 outs and a man in scoring position for Nelesnik.
Coach Leary was listening to you, put the runner in motion, and it worked out there. Even though it was hit hard right at Blue, once Blue secured it, he realized he could not get to second base. He was very wise in collecting himself, make a good throw, at least get 1 out here, so we have 2 outs in the inning here for Navy.
And now Chinnery's going to go out to have a conversation. Going to talk to Sorensen just a little bit here.
And here's another look at it here. Blue gets it, and right about there, he realizes I can't get the second, and he gets himself gathered and made a good throw to first base. Again, we need to secure outs as a team here on either side, and right there, that was not a panic play. He was under control the entire time, understood the speed of the game and what he needed to get done. 2
outs, go ahead run at second, top of the 9th. Here's Nelesnik. Nelesnik is 0 for 1 with an RBI groundout. He tied this game back in the 5th. Part of that Lehigh 3-run frame with a groundout. He's also walked twice, been hit by a pitch. 3 for 12 in the championship series. Big right-handed hitter swings and drives it to left. Trent going back, he's got a beat on it. He will make the catch and the inning is over. Lehigh leaves the go-ahead run at second. We head to the bottom of the 9th. 3-3 Lehigh and Navy in the Patriot League Championships, powered by Campus Insiders. Bottom of the 9th inning, 3-3 the score. Heart of the order due up for Navy. It's the guys that have given Nick Macaione trouble today for Lehigh. It's 3-3. He's gone the whole way. This is his 95th pitch of the day, and he starts with a breaking ball high to Stephen Bourne. Bourne, Deneen, and Chinnery here. They've combined to score all 3 runs for the Naval Academy today against Macaione, who has been outstanding. Called strike, it's 1-1.
We were talking about during the break, Mike, a lot of these innings that Macaione has pitched are not stressful innings. Perhaps maybe the 4th inning gave him a little bit stress, but it's been, for the most part, stress-free.
Bourne jammed, hits it in the air to left. Fleming will have to wait for it and play it on a bounce, and the winning run is aboard to start the 9th.
That's a tough read. That's a tough read for Fleming there. Again, tie game in the bottom of the 9th inning. You do not want to take a chance and have that ball skip by you. And then we see what Bourne could do as he runs, but he played it safe. We're going to take another look at it again. It's that in-between here. He could have come in and dove for it, but God forbid if that gets by him, that would put Lehigh in a disadvantage.
Macaione hasn't struck anybody out today as Deneen squares to bunt and bunts it foul. Deneen singled and scored in the 4th. He is 1 for 3. The winning run is at first. If Navy wins this game, they go to the NCAA championships.
Mike, I'm not saying that this sacrifice bunt has to get down, but I'm pretty much saying this sacrifice bunt has to get down.
Chinnery, who's been in the middle of all the good offensively for Navy today on deck, as there's a throw over.
See if he's going to square again. That's mainly what that throw over was, and he didn't give it away, even though everybody in the park knows what he's doing.
Deneen's had a very good postseason. He's got 4 hits in this series. The 0-1 squares to bunt, bunts it foul, and he's behind now, 0-2.
You think about it, Mike, something that is so simple to do but yet so hard when the game's on the line. We mentioned yesterday Navy practices bunting as well as Lehigh a lot. They had the pitching machine set up behind the turtle yesterday during batting practice and putting bunts down. Those guys were putting them right into tin cans, but here's the pressure situation.
Set. The 0-2 in the dirt. Good stop by McKay as he smothered that one. Really active to get to that slider. It's 1-2.
A great job by McKay. In fact, probably his best block of the entire series. He did a great job. That's not easy. You got that sweeping breaking ball going away from you. We're here in the 9th inning, and he's been out there all day tired. He did a great job getting in front of that.
Set in the 1-2 on its way. Breaking ball called strike 3. He got him. Maccaione's first strikeout of the day, and it's the first out of the 9th, and a big one is here's Chinnery.
Way to save it for the 9th inning for his first strikeout, but you know what? He threw it for the strike. More important, the one before almost got away from him, and I think he realized that, and he put that in and took his chances right here. All of a sudden, we get locked up here for Dineen, and all he could do is run back to the dugout. Good pitch by Macaione.
1 out, and here is Adrian Chinnery. Chinnery's 2-run double in the 4th gave Navy a lead. He scored the tying run in the 7th. 3-3 the score. The pitch outside of ball. It's 1-0. Sophomore catcher, first team All-Patriot League, hitting over 300 on the year. 4 for 12 in the championship series is the right-handed hitter. The 1-0 swing and a miss. Waved at that one. 1-1.
If Navy is thinking of running in this situation, Mike, at all, be mindful there's a lefty on the mound, and it's tougher to get a good jump off a left-handed pitcher than a right-handed pitcher, so that comes into play as well.
Set and the 1-1 on its way. Swing and a rip foul past third. Navy bench started to get excited, but that one was well foul. It's 1-2.
Chinnery wants that back. That's the one inside that you're hoping that you can keep fair. You hit it hard, you just hit it foul, and you always wonder, if I kept that fair, what would happen? But if I'm Donnelly at third base, I'd be mindful guarding that third base line as well, just to make sure in case we come back in again with that sweeping breaking ball, those fastballs inside. I want to guard against that line. He's playing off by the cutout right now.
The set and the 1-2. Breaking ball just off the plate. Maybe a touch high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That call could have gone either way, Mike, but as a right-handed hitter, we were talking off air earlier today about this. As a righty, that starts so far outside that you give up on it as a hitter, and you just hope it doesn't break over the outside corner.
Here comes the 2-2 from Macaione. Swing and a pop-up foul out of play off to the right. 3-3 the score. The winner here becomes the 4th team into the NCAA tournament. Columbia's in to represent the Ivy League. Florida A&M from the MEAC, Texas Southern from the SWAC. They clinched their tickets to the dance last night. Set and the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup. And the first 2 strikeouts of Macaione come here in the 9th.
That's a big-time changeup right there on the outside corner, diving away. And you couldn't put it any better spot. Let's take another look at this. He was just nothing you could do with that. Swung right over the top of it as the bottom dropped out of that for Macaione, getting the 2nd out here in the 9th.
And here's Ben McGrath. The first pitch to the freshman upstairs, it's 1-0. McGrath 0 for 3 in this one, 4 for 12 now in the championship series, 9 for 24 in the postseason. When we talked to Paul Kostakopoulos this week, he said this might be the key guy in our lineup. Switch hitter, batting right-hander. The freshman waits. The 1-0 upstairs, and the count now 2-0. The left-handed hitting Knowles, who drove in the tying run with a triple inside the first baseline, waiting on deck.
Make an interesting point, Mike. As a switch hitter myself, when I played, it's tough. They didn't have the traditional batting practice before today's contest, so you've been facing right-handers all week, and this is his couple bats in right-handed, but it's tough to get that rhythm.
2-0 popped up to left. It's Blemming. Camping, squeezing, inning over. Macaione pitches around a lead-off single, extra innings, with a chance to go to the NCAAs on the line. 3-3 Lehigh Navy. Don't go anywhere on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. What a series it's been. Lehigh and Navy going to extra innings, an NCAA berth on the line, and Mike Garzillo will lead off for Lehigh. And if you're just joining us, this is what you've missed from him in this series. The 3rd of his 3 home runs yesterday combined between the 2 games. And he leads off here in the 10th. 3-3 the score. Takes a first pitch ball from Sorensen. Garzillo is hitless in this game. 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts, a sacrifice fly, and an intentional walk. 6 for 12 in the series, 7 RBI. The 1-0. Checks his swing, takes low and away, and it's 2-0, and he's in a great hitter's count here with the wind picking up to left field.
Navy's has to be careful here. They want to pitch around him, but you also don't want to lead off walk at the same time.
Sorensen's 2-0 in the dirt, ball 3-0. And one of the things you have to keep in mind with Sorensen, 49 pitches yesterday between the 2 games. That's now 27 pitches for him today. You wonder how much he has left. We're starting to get to the point where this could be a war of attrition. The 3-0. There's a strike, and it's 3-1 to Garzillo.
Good take by Garzillo. Just trying to get on any way you can in this situation. Still in a great hitter's count, 3-1.
Sorensen set. And the 3-1, swinging a looper to right field. Coming out is Dineen. He dives, knocks it down, it gets away. Garzillo's going to hustle to second, and he is there with a double. And the leadoff man is aboard here in the 10th.
Wow, did Dineen get lucky knocking that ball down? Because you know what? That could have been a triple, maybe an inside the park home run if he does not get a glove on that. Risky play with no outs here. Let's take another look at this and see what I'm talking about. This ball was flicked out. Not the ideal 3-1 swing you want, but he dove and it hit the ground first and then hit his glove as he tried to smother it there at the end. Very, very lucky Navy is that he's only on second base, Garzillo that is.
For Garzillo, his 5th extra base hit of the finals. And now here's Patrick Donnelly. Now Donnelly hit with first and second and nobody out in the bottom of the 10th in game 2 and was not bunting, he struck out. He's got some power, we'll be interested to see what he does here. Not bunting again, takes a strike, it's 0-1. At the very least, you want him to get a ground ball to the right side, you'd think, but Knowles is playing so close to the line, there's a lot of space if he rolls over one into left field. Trent is very deep in left, too.
You got that 6-hole open as well with Blue holding on Garzillo at second.
The 0-1 down low, it's 1-1.
There's a lot of real estate here. If you get a pitch that you can drive through that 6-hole, go right ahead. But at the worst, to your point, at the worst case scenario, we need to get the ball on the right side here for Lehigh to advance Garzillo to at least third. We got nobody out here.
Garzillo is a very fast runner as well. The 1-1, swinging a liner right to third. Knowles will not be able to complete the double play. Donnelly smoked it. But it turns out that Knowles was positioned perfectly.
Hang with them. Those are one of those types where you just get the ball, you hit it on the screws, but it just happens to go right at somebody. Garzillo is diving back in the second, and in fact hugged the bag when he got there to be in safe. As we take another look, Knowles right at Knowles. Knowles didn't even have to move, barely secured that baseball. Tough luck there for Lehigh.
1 out. And now Bobby Applegate, the pitching coach, is going to head out of the Navy dugout, and you have to wonder how much longer they can go with Sorensen.
Applegate takes his time, no doubt about it.
Certainly does. Well, you know, most pitching coaches do. They like a long casual walk. They don't tend to take golf carts with them when they go to play golf. They're not like hitters who are getting ready to swing all the time. They're trying to process as much as they can. They like the exercise.
Well, we'll go with that.
33 pitches today for Sorensen. Chetminek threw 53 yesterday. He is their second-team all-conference reliever.
It's fitting that we're at the Naval Academy, all hands on deck for both teams.
Absolutely. At this point, we're in extra innings. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament and on to the road to Omaha. Bobby Applegate done with his conference. They tried to take a look at how they wanted to pitch John Elson, maybe get the bullpen a little time. Elson is 1 for 3 in this game with a sacrifice. He's had a very, very good series overall. 6 for 14 overall. The senior right-handed hitting shortstop, 5 homers on the year. Blue playing a little bit closer to the hole now, it's short. First pitch, outside a ball, it's 1-0.
As an infielder, Mike, you have to know the swings of these hitters and where they like them. It's all reading a ball off the bat for an infielder is all about reading the swing first and understanding where the ball is going to be before it's even hit.
Sorensen steps off.
That's why necessarily not your best infielders are not necessarily your fastest runners north and south. It's all about, like Cal Ripken back in the day, he was very good going left and right because he could read swings.
The 1-0, swinging a grounder deep in the hole, it's short. Blue slides to a stop, but he won't have a play. It's an infield single.
And that was a great point you brought up earlier about Blue shifting over more of a regular setup at the shortstop. Absolutely saved the run. He could have backhanded that ball and made an effort at first base to get the runner, but he did the smart thing, smother the ball, keep it in the infield, and keep runners at first, that runner at second base as we take a look here. Slides, blocks it almost like a catcher to make sure it stays in the infield and keep Garzillo at second base.
He was playing much more up the middle like he is now before, and it would have gotten to left field. David Young is going to be the pinch hitter here. Patrick Walsh was removed for a pinch hitter earlier. Kersey could not get down the bunt. Young pinch hit for Kersey in game 2 and flew out to right. The go-ahead run is at second. It's Garzillo. Elson at first. Called strike to Young. Here it's 0-1. Young just a sophomore. Right-handed hitter. Digging in to face Sam Sorensen. Any kind of base hit to the outfield likely will score Garzillo. Dineen in right has the best arm.
If I'm Dineen here too, I'm inching closer on the off side of the hitter on the opposite field, just in case he tries to dink one in. I've got the best arm, and if he beats me deep, he beats me deep.
Trent now moving in a few steps in left. There's a strike, and it's 0-2 now to Young. Connor Faust is waiting on deck.
And especially with 2 strikes here to Young, if I'm Dineen, I would come in and over towards the line a little bit, because if he's going to throw that slider out there, he might try to flip it into short right field, and I want to be there to catch that if possible.
The set, the 0-2, just off the plate away.
They went outside, but with a fastball that time, I thought that was a good pitch call right there, and he just didn't. He just got a little bit off the plate, didn't get the call. But overall, an 0-2 pitch, I think that was a great 0-2 pitch.
Now what do you do here?
Well, let's wait and see.
Chinnery's going to go out to talk it over with Sorensen. I mean, that outside 0-2 pitch sets up the chance to go back to the slider in that spot, right? Because it looks like a fastball, and it was close enough. You have to try and commit.
Yeah, and he's done that earlier throughout the game, too. Fastball and slider in the same spot, and he always follows up that fastball with that slider. As you said, the presentation of it until the last 10 feet looked like that fastball, and then you can get that chase, maybe from a young guy like Young, who's not as experienced as maybe Garzillo or another older guy.
1-2, 1 out. Go-ahead run at second. 3-3, top of the 10th. Nelson is lead from first. Garzillo with great speed at second. The 1-2. Checks his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said the first base umpire, Ricky Cacciatore. Young didn't go very far, but it did look like he snapped his wrist. 2 outs.
There's that slider we were just talking about. He doubled up and went back to that slider, tried to get that chase. Young tried to check his swing, but he didn't. We'll take another look here, see if he in fact did check his swing. Another close call. Could have gone either way, Mike.
2 outs, 2 on. Here's Connor Faust. He's in the middle of everything. He had a foul ball that was very nearly a home run that led to a long argument. He was called out on a check swing, committed an error that led to the tying run for Navy. He also was called out on a double play on a ball that appeared to be foul off his foot. He swings at the first pitch and pops it foul. Chinnery giving chase, but it's going to be out of play. And it's 0-1. And Faust has had the best cuts he's had in this series today.
And just nothing to show for it. He's almost like the guy in the lineup you have to think as Lehigh's like, okay, this guy's due. And what a better spot than this situation right here for Faust to come through.
Faust, a senior. 0 for 12 in the championship series.
I've been there, Mike.
This is a big spot for him. The go-ahead run, Garzillo at second. He led off with a double. A 1 out infield single for Elson has him at first. The 0-1, swing and a miss. High fastball that time, and Faust behind on the count now, 0-2.
It's tough as a hitter when you're putting good swings on pitches and you're not making contact. Whether you foul it off or you swing and miss, it's a frustrating time as a hitter knowing that you can square it up. You've done it in the past, and just for some reason you're not doing it at the current moment.
The 0-2, swinging a liner back through the middle. It's a base hit. Garzillo will score. Connor Faust's first hit of the championship series has given Lehigh a 4-3 lead in the 10th.
Not missing bats there. That was a barrel, and he almost took the head off of Sorensen on a dart up the middle to put Lehigh ahead 4-3 in the top of the 10th inning here. What a better time. I told you he was due.
John Bisco giving him a hug at first base as Faust lines it right back just past Sorensen's glove for the go-ahead run.
Sorensen is very, very lucky to not have gotten that in the head. That was about as close as you can come without getting hit. Sorensen lucky there, just from a personal standpoint.
How about that on an 0-2 pitch, being able to stay in the middle like that for Faust? Swing and a miss to Tim McKay. It's 0-1.
We were just mentioning it before. You start swinging and missing a lot. You sometimes, especially with 2 strikes, you start just making your swing smaller, making sure you just make contact. And look like Faust didn't try to overswing there. Just get the barrel on the ball, and he hit a rocket.
Runners at first and second. McKay bunts up along third. It will roll foul. As Chinnery slides to knock it down. Chinnery, the fact that he still has energy after catching now, 30 innings over the last 3 days is incredible. There's activity in the bullpen for Lehigh. The right-hander there is Kevin Long, the starter from yesterday, and Nick Stevens, who started game 2. So both starters getting loose in the pen. Long threw 84 pitches, Stevens threw 86.
You have to wonder, Mike, where Chinnery's energy comes from, because I'm just tired of watching these guys go back and forth for 2 days here.
4-3, Lehigh with the lead. 2 outs, 2 on for McKay. McKay had a big RBI single on an 0-2 pitch yesterday. Swings and misses that slider in the dirt. And Chinnery will tag him, and the inning is over. But Lehigh reclaims the lead on the RBI single from Connor Faust. They are 3 outs away from the NCAAs on the Patriot League Championship, televised by the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. What an incredible weekend of baseball it's been in Annapolis. Lehigh 3 outs away from the NCAAs for the first time since 2006 as they lead the final game of this championship series 4-3 in the bottom of the 10th. Nick Macaione has gone the whole way, the senior left-hander, at 105 pitches. And he will start the 10th inning against the number 8 hitter for Navy, Logan Knowles. And the first pitch is a ball outside. It's 1-0. Knowles tied the game for Navy in the 7th with a triple inside the right field line. These last 2 games in particular have been tight. Called strike, it's 1-1.
Navy most likely taking a pitch there till they get a strike, just to make sure that Macaione is they're forcing him to at least get 1 strike before they go to work here in the bottom of the 10th.
It'll be Knowles, Blue, and Curry. As Knowles fouls this off, third base side. Donnelly giving chase, calling for it, making the catch. That's actually Mackie Price, who's into the game for defense. Price makes the catch, and the leadoff man is gone here in the 10th. Every out is big now, 2 outs away from the championship, but at the same time, lurking if a couple men get on is the player of the year, Sean Trent. So now here's Travis Blue, the number 9 hitter.
We'll take another look at this as Price has to battle the wind a little bit. The wind picked up there, but plenty of foul territory here, as you mentioned yesterday at Matt Bishop Stadium, to secure that with ease.
Here's Blue, he's grounded out 3 times, squares to bunt, takes high, it's 1-0.
It was interesting, that pitch too, right there we just saw from Macaione, Mike. He's been around the zone a lot today. You don't see too many pitches from him get away from him like that, so he's been on point all afternoon.
The 1-0. Fastball inside, and the count now 2-0 to Travis Blue. Macaione has walked just 1 hitter, fanned 2, and those were both in the 9th inning.
Macaione doing a little stretching in between that pitch, trying to get everything he can out of himself.
2-0, there's a strike on the corner, it's 2-1.
You have to imagine at over 100 pitches that this is about it that he can do, but he understands what's on the line here, and he'll give his team everything he has.
It's pitch number 112 for Macaione, swing and a miss, 2-2 to Blue. Leadoff hitter Robert Curry is on deck.
You hear about pitchers digging deep, and this is a perfect example of it.
Outside, ball 3. And with both starters from yesterday, Stevens and Long getting loose in the pen, you have to wonder if maybe, just maybe, it's going to be a short leash here. There are a couple of right-handed hitters. Curry's a righty, Borsic a lefty behind him that are due up. 3-2. Swing and a pop-up foul over our heads.
See, that's the tough decisions coaches have, Mike. You and I don't have to have those kind of tough decisions. And I'm kind of glad we're up here, not in the dugout.
3-2 the count to Travis Blue. This will be pitch number 115 on the day for Macaione. He's gone 9 1/3. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up foul again out of play. And that one landed just behind us. A little too close for comfort that time.
You don't trust me, Mike?
The former All-Conference USA infielder can't make a reaction on that play? Then no, I don't.
It's not close enough.
The 3-2 on its way. Here it is. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. 2 outs in the 9th. And the final hope for the top-seeded midshipman is Robert Curry.
Executing pitches in the bottom of the 10th inning for Macaione. He is showing us something today, not just in the 10th inning, but the entire afternoon. Let's take another look at this. McKay, the catcher, setting up outside, and he hits his target and gets the call for out number 2.
Here's Curry, 0 for 4 today. The pitch in the dirt. Oh, and spiked way in front of the plate. It's 1-0. You wonder how much Macaione has left. He's fanned 3 of the last 5 hitters. The senior left-hander from Andover, New Jersey, is 1 out away from sending Lehigh to the NCAAs for just the 2nd time in program history. Outside a ball, it's 2-0. Borisek on deck.
I think it's the right guy for this spot with 2 outs. Your traditional leadoff hitter, used to being in this type of situation where he has to take a couple pitches and wait.
The 2-0, swinging a grounder to short. There's Elson. He bobbles it. Curry's going to beat it out. Beat it out. Lehigh was off the bench thinking that they had gotten him, but with the bobble, Curry was able to beat it by a half step.
It's that last out, Mike. Elson has been sure-handed the entire series. And a ground ball to him here with 2 outs. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, he may have gotten him.
I think he may have gotten it with a slight pick there at the end from Faust. But
I called it safe. I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to get him. It was a strong throw from Elson. It's going to be an error on him, 2 outs.
He had that little bobble. Again, sure-handed all series long. He became flat-footed. He's been moving his feet very well all series. Became flat-footed there with 2 outs, and potentially the last out, he got himself a little handcuff there, which allowed the runner Curry to be safe at first.
2 outs. Man at first is the tying run. Here's Borisek. You have to think this is Macaione's last hitter, with Sean Trent, the Conference Player of the Year, on deck. Curry gets his lead. He led the Patriot League in steals last year, not going. Borisek takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Macaione electing to go with the slide step there with Curry, the leadoff hitter, on first base. Again, Macaione, this is some pressure situations here with some pressure pitches with the step-off move, the first, as you see there, but he's having to change his rhythm, his going to a slide step, doing some things different. It might be in Navy's favor.
Error charge to Elson on that play. Runner goes, pitches a strike. McKay lets him steal without a throw. So now the tying run is in scoring position. It's 1-1, and now McKay wants to go over the signs with the runner at second.
Good job by Curry. Good jump there he got as he got to second base to get himself in scoring position. But this is just another example, Mike, of how this series has gone. It's just everybody, both teams are always in it, always have a chance, it seems like, to be able to tie it up or get ahead.
The count is 0-2, though. 2 outs, tying run is at second. Borisek took that to let him get into scoring position, but now he's going to have to battle.
His job is to get this ball in play.
The pitch from Macaione. Strike 3! Lehigh is going to the NCAAs! Borisek called out on strikes, and Lehigh dogpiles in Annapolis. The final. The Mountain Hawks 4, the Midshipmen 3. Lehigh to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 9 years, and just the second time in program history. 123 pitch, 10-inning complete game for Nick Macaione. Lehigh to the NCAAs. We'll be down on the field in a moment with the champions of the Patriot League as our coverage of the Patriot League Baseball Championship Series continues on the Patriot League Network. Mike Farron back in Annapolis with the head coach of the Lehigh Mountain Hawks, Sean Leary. And I know you didn't sleep last night, and you guys had first and second nobody out in the 10th inning. So how's your stomach doing?
I'll tell you what, it's churning. I can't believe how fast it's going. But I never was in a moment of being nervous. I was nervous energy, but I just believed. And that first game was unique. We had.
I wasn't going to give you a heads up.
I'll take that. Oh, man. But that first game, I've never experienced anything like that, where you lose and you have to get it ready in 30 minutes after a 10-minute game. And, you know, we didn't get many breaks in that game. We thought we had a couple balls, maybe that we thought the home run was fair, a couple close calls, and our guys didn't waver. They got a little bit on edge about, let's get a break, and I said make a break. And boy, Connor Faust, who in the last inning comes through, and senior leadership from the beginning of the day to the end.
Nick Macaione, too, speaking of the seniors. I mean, Faust's first hit of the series was huge, but Macaione going 120-plus pitches. I mean, he didn't even start in the semifinals. I know you liked what you saw with him coming into this matchup.
I just thought with their lefties it would be a good matchup, and we were hesitant to make the decision this morning, bring him in like they did with Condrey. We thought about bringing him in, and then I thought, just in case, we had confidence in Colby, but if we have Nick in that game, he's been able to go 100. He looked at me in the 8th and 9th and basically said, Coach, I really don't have a pitch count today. And it was only at 98 going into that last inning, but he just gutted it out. I mean, we even had a tough play at the end there, and he just kept fighting and fighting. I couldn't be more proud of him.
This was the coming out party for Mike Garzillo, too. 3 home runs in this series, the double that led to the winning run. What can you say about an immensely talented player?
And he came through again today. I think, as I mentioned to you yesterday, he really did have a coming out party. A lot of the folks in the Lehigh Valley in our team know what a special player we have with him and Justin. We've had 2 guys who've really led the way all year, but he stepped forward this weekend, and I think he put himself in a position where pro scouts may be a little bit more interested than they were on Friday, and couldn't be happier for him. He's just a great kid, and all these guys deserve the success they have today.
And Coach, for you, the second tournament appearance as a head coach, the second in the program's history. You've been with Lehigh for 24 years. I know you hope it's not 9 years between them, but what does this mean for you?
It means a great deal because our alumni are sitting up there rooting us on, and some of the years we've been close, those guys are back today. And then we had a little period where we struggled right after that first championship, and we built back up, and this group believed in what we were building, and I think the future's awful bright with what we're doing, but this one's, they're all special, but this one may mean something a little different just because there was a little gap there, and we know we're back where we need to be, and I couldn't be more proud of everybody in this program.
Coach, congratulations, you're going to the NCAA tournament.
Can't wait.
Sean Leary, the head coach of the Lehigh Mountain Hawks, going to the NCAAs, and one of the stars of this series, Mike Garzillo, and Mike Farron, I mean, first of all, what a performance, and what, from an emotion standpoint, especially when you start, basically in the 10th inning of a game today, you're in the middle of an intentional walk when you go to bed last night.
Yeah.
What was it like? How difficult was it to rally after losing that tough one and then coming back and having to play right away?
I mean, it's difficult, but with the senior leadership on this team, it made it pretty easy. We went out there, Condrey was doing a great job on the mound. He carried that energy from the end of that game into game 3, but senior leadership on this team, Nick Macaione on the mound, he made it real easy to hit, so it was just an unbelievable game.
Mike, yesterday, the 3 home runs over the first 2 games, and all of them no doubters. I mean, when you look back on that, did you get a chance to kind of look back on that performance at all last night and think about what it meant?
Hey, I appreciate you saying that. No, I mean, all I really wanted was the ring, so now that we have that, I'm real happy, but it was just a team effort. We played unbelievable as a team, and we have a lot of fight. You can hear him back there. It's amazing.
The 10th inning at bat today, though, 3-1, he's going away. You saw a lot of breaking balls today.
Yeah.
Take us through your decision to kind of go after it there.
I was just looking for a pitch I could hit. I wanted to get on base. Fortunately, it fell into a gap, and the rest is history.
Mike, it was a heck of a performance this weekend. Congratulations. We're going to move you aside for one of your seniors, but what a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Mike Garzillo, a star-making performance. Nick Macaione, Mike Farron, wow, what a performance from you. I mean, I could still see you're still a little bit fired up from that.
Breathe on that, yeah.
Unbelievable when you consider, I mean, you go through that lineup, as difficult as say, the quality of the at-bats. What was the key for you today, you felt like?
In such a big game, I just had to keep my composure. I pitch best when I can breathe and I'm calm and I keep myself in the zone. And, it was a little harder in that last inning, but that's what I had to do today. My team, I couldn't have done it without them. The defense behind me was incredible today.
When you think about that 9th inning, you get off the leadoff hit, and then you start walking off the field. To me, it looked like you still had your composure there. How difficult was it to try and get through that? Because that could have been it there.
The hardest part for me is even if I'm freaking out on the inside, not showing it on the outside because my team needs me out there. And if I show it out there, then they start to panic, and it's just a spiral from there. So all I had to do was at least show that I was composed, and I think I did all right there.
What about the Mike Garzillo performance this weekend?
Unreal. Mike kept us in every game. He gave us chances to win everything, and we wouldn't have won today without him. Even the last couple of games, it's unreal hitting that many home runs. So he put on a show this weekend. It really did. He was incredible.
Nick, your next appearance is going to be the NCAA tournament. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Nick Macaione, the winner, goes the distance in 10 innings today. Lehigh into the NCAAs for the first time in 9 years. For my partner, Kevin Wilson, for our producer-director, Matt Mendez, I'm Mike Farron saying so long from Annapolis. Lehigh, champions of the Patriot League. on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders.